Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network. OutlawRadioNetwork.com.
This country can't be knocked out with one punch. We get right back up again, and when we do, the world's going to hear the roar of our engines.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
You do your work, and we will do our best.
Republic. I like the sentiment of it. It means people can live free, talk free, go or come, buy or sell, be drunk or sober, however they choose.
Are you ready to be who you are?
No poetry, just a straight answer.
The government has deliberately sought to deceive the United States by false statements and expressions of hope for continued peace.
We are men of the hood, marry now at your expense.
But there's no both sides anymore. They're just trying to wreck our goddamn country. It's time for you younger guys to take over it.
You were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
If you guys don't start thinking as men, we're gonna have a lousy country.
For the crimes of incitement to cause unrest, I decline to be an outlaw.
All right, everybody, it is the Outlaw Radio Network for the 9th of August, 2025. Thanks for checking out. 2026.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Holy hell.
He's time
You're going
warping.
back in time.
I lost a year.
He's time warping.
There's nothing's happened in the last year. There's no news has happened. I'm like Ichabod. Who was the guy that fell asleep for 100 years? Who was that?
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
no, not Rumpelstiltskin. Who was it?
No, it was from
Ichabod Crane, right?
No,
The Headless Horseman.
Years. Who was that? Was that no, not Sleeping Beauty? Rip Van Winkle. That's who I was thinking about. Rip Van
That
Winkle.
wasn't even close.
I know. You need to fix your mic. It needs to be
falling. It's very limp tonight.
Sounds like a personal problem, Beeler. All right, guys. Thanks for checking out the show. Again, we are broadcasting live from the Black Ring Spirit Studios. K-Dog, Beeler, Black Tom. Paul is at the humble abode. Hold on, Paul. Which one is Paul?
No one's going on.
Hold on, Paul. I got to remember which one of these you are. Is this?
So, yeah.
Paul, say hello.
Hello, Paul.
Oh, hold on. I bet you people.
You'll get it, Kevin. You'll get it. You got it, brother. You'll do fine.
We'll talk for a sec. Tell us about your week.
Oh, yeah.
My week?
Busy. I know that yours was really busy too, Tom.
Paul, say hi again.
Yeah, but mine's been like
hi
work,
again.
Eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep. Just doing the same thing over and over.
I was doing that too.
Yeah, I've got a
Plus
side
cooking.
Yeah. I did manage to fit smoking a pork butt.
Damn, that sounds.
That's what she said.
Oh,
I made
Paul,
ribs
say
a
hello
couple
one more
times
time.
this week.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah,
one more
good
time.
and juicy.
So
really moist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moist.
Yeah.
Paul, we can't hear you at all on our end. The listeners can probably hear you, but we
talking,
cannot hear you.
We can't hear you, Paul.
So yeah, F-Bomb and I teamed up on the pork butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, she brined it and seasoned it and
testing 1 2
I have
1
a pork
2.
butt in my freezer right now. I think I'm gonna make some
Hey,
more
Amber, turn
Kahlua
on your
pork
phone and
with
see if you
it.
can hear me.
I love Kahlua pork. So good.
When I get it back on the shelf,
Yeah.
instead of Kahlua, try some of my coffee whiskey I sell here. Toasted Joe.
Oh, that stuff
I
is
don't
the
put Kahlua on
bomb.
it, man.
There's
That's
Paul.
just what it's called.
Toasted Joe.
You don't use any Kahlua?
Paul, we can hear
Okay,
you.
Kevin got it.
Use
Okay.
Kahlua
I
Kahlua pork.
fixed it. I'm glorious. All right, perfect. All right. Hey, in just a
Kevin is on
moment.
fire tonight, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, that's right. I'm thinking about the Grand Canyon.
Dude, you
Yeah.
there are times, Kevin, you worry me.
Hey,
This
listen,
may be
in
one
just
of
a
those
moment,
times.
In just a moment, we're going to bring our good friend Dave McMullen on. He's the Pierce County Republican Party chair. And we're going to talk about the results we saw come out of
Why
Tuesday.
does it say Lance Bird over us?
Oh, I don't know. I'll fix that too.
He hasn't been here in a long time.
No, I'm gonna fix that now. Hold on.
Beeler,
Anyway,
everybody's allowed a bad day. And let's just say the way the show's starting tonight, maybe this is not one of those times for Kevin. I mean,
no. It's fine. I'm fixing everything, so it's a good day.
You are fixing everything.
He's
yeah.
taking initiative.
You could say that.
So, okay, I just fixed it. So listen, in just a couple of moments, our good friend Dave McMullen is going to join us, Pierce County Republican Party chair, to talk about what we saw coming out of the primaries on Tuesday. We, of course, have heard a lot of people talking about how Republicans didn't fare as well as people thought they were going to. We're going to get Dave's unique perspective as a guy that's active in Pierce County, what he's seen from those results. Some of that does include the 26, which spills over to those of you in Kitsap as well. So we'll get into all of that. I do want to tag our sponsors really quick, including Tom. Tell us about Destination Highway 420.
Oh, go to Destination Highway 420 on your on Hollis Street in Bremerton for your selection of pre-rolls, flour, distillates, edibles, glass options. Very, very good customer service. And one of my favorite things about their place is the fact that they keep a consistent stock.
Yeah.
So if you find something you like, you go in and purchase it and you go enjoy it. And when it's time to restock, they still have it.
That's true. Most of the time, except for high-end farms. High-end farms, get your stuff together. We need some Bill Murray.
And the customer service, again, is top-notch.
Yeah.
Stop in and see him, Destination Highway 420 on Hollow Street in East Bremerton, across the street from Cloverleaf. We also want to thank Black Ring Spirits, the home of Outlaw Radio. Broadcast live here every Sunday. Stop in and see Tom, but not tomorrow, because Tom is actually going to get a whole day off.
Yay.
Yeah,
That's
we're closed
outstanding.
on Monday and Tuesday anyway.
But I'm just saying, you're not doing the other job either, so you don't bug Tom.
Tom's sleeping in tomorrow.
Don't call him. By the way, tonight's show is brought to you by our good friends at Paul's Bow for All. Anyway, sorry, I'm so fired up, man. I swear to God,
somebody's in rare form.
Evergreen Grace Cleaning Company. Do you need a clean out? Do you need residential business? Evergreen Grace.
Do you need a clean out? Did you just say, do you need a clean out?
Isn't it clean out or a move out? A move out. Whatever. Do you need your house cleaned? Do you need your business cleaned? Evergreen Grace is who you call. Find them on Facebook. Look for Evergreen Grace.
Do you need your pipe snaked?
That's right. Kitsap Great Escape, the best Kitsap, the best escape room that Kitsap County has to offer. 4 great rooms to serve you. Check them out, kitsapgreatescape.com, including the brand new room, the Lunar Curse. Also watch for their booth at the Kitsap County Fair. And admin a la carte. If you don't know how to handle all the stuff that goes on the backside of your website, all the e-traffic stuff, all the optimization stuff, admin a la carte is who you reach out to. Call Andy, reach out to Andy, find them at admin-a-la-carte.com. And finally, Paul's Bow for All. Sorry. I hate you.
You know what,
bastard.
Kevin? You should suggest to our friends over at Kitsap Great Escape that they should do an escape room for people who are sick of the BS from politics. Like in a political escape room.
Never fucking get out of there.
I'll
That would
mention
be the
it.
problem.
I'll mention it to ownership.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up at 9:00. If you guys know her, send her a message. I have a couple words for Hanny Baxter. Longtime friend of the show, former head of the Kitsap County Democrat Party. I have special words for Hanny. I love Hanny, but I have to call her on the carpet for something. So that's coming in at 8:00. So I don't want her to feel like we didn't give a heads
8
up.
or 9?
8:00. I know I said 9. 8:00. Right after we're done talking with Dave. Plenty of stuff to talk about too, including a letter that came out from the 23rd LD that we'll share later. Because again, we got people sending us stuff all day long. You guys can try to hide it in private chat rooms on Facebook that the rest of the world can't see. I got spies up in your business, so we'll read that in the 8:00 hour as well. Let's go to the.
Kevin is fired up.
I really am, man. I really am. Let's.
I'm glad I don't really have any subject matter to contribute tonight. So I've been so damn busy.
Tom, you're a libertarian. We're used to it.
Oh,
That was great, Paul.
eat my shorts.
Sorry. I love you,
By the
Tom.
way,
Love you,
I have
Tom.
a song stuck in my head tonight, Paul. Maybe next year I'll say ass and she'll make my pee pee go doing doing doing. Sorry, it's Eminem.
What?
Stuck? Yeah, haven't you ever heard ass like that by Eminem?
Oh my God.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
it's stuck
that
in my
line.
head. I can't tell you why though. All right, let's hold on. Bookmark. That is past conversation. Now we get all professional and serious. Joining us to talk about politics. Secondly, a very important discussion to have first is the one and only chair of the Pierce County Republican Party, good friend of the show, and all-around good dude, Dave McMullen. Hello, Dave. Hey, how you doing? What's going on, buddy? How have you been?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
I'm doing real good.
Well, listen,
Dave, you're looking good, man. Hold on, Kev. Dave, you look like $1 million, dude. How are you feeling? How is your health doing, man?
My health is doing really well. I walked 12
Beautiful.
miles in Las Vegas last weekend.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nothing's official until September 18th, but my doctors feel that I'm 100% cancer free.
Outstanding, man.
Yay, that's the best news.
Congratulations, man.
Praise,
awesome.
Praise
dude.
the Lord. I give all the credit to Jesus.
Amen.
We love you, Dave.
Listen, all the political stuff is important, but what's more important to us, man, is your health. And I'm glad that
I appreciate that.
Glad that you're good. Glad that you're clear. I can also announce that Dave has agreed for the first time ever to be part of the racing team at the Outlaw Radio Invitational in September at the Kitsap Destruction Derby. Dave is going to race a car. So here's what we know.
Love
Me,
it.
Beeler, Tom, and Paul. Okay, there's 4. 5 is Dave. 6 is Daria. Elgin. 7 is Doc
And
Blackwell.
8 is somebody from Destination
Doc
Highway
Blackwell.
420.
Okay, you did talk to them and they've agreed to send somebody. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So that'll be the 8. I'm not worried about any of y'all. I'm gonna be the defending reigning champion again, and there we go. So there we
Suck
go.
it, Kevin.
Challenge.
Sure.
Perfect. Dave. No, listen, I'm so glad you're doing it with us. I'm sad we didn't ask you before. We probably should have. Can you, before we get into hard numbers and percentages and all that kind of stuff, can you just give an overall view of like a helicopter view coming out of Tuesday, both from your district, which obviously you're well versed on, but just any other impressions you have as you've watched how this has gone around the state and what it means for the Republican Party?
Well, have you ever seen those World War II black and white videos where a nuclear bomb just goes boom, blows up a whole city?
Mm-hmm.
That's the Republicans, and that's primary.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No, we took it in short.
Yeah, there were 2 of
Wow.
them.
I'm not gonna play games about it.
Don't sugarcoat it, Dave.
Our issues are turnout.
Mm-hmm.
There's still plenty to do, but we have to really look at ourselves in the mirror and say we need to work. We've spent too much time fighting, too much time. This candidate's too pure. That candidate's a communist. Just utter bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And we're taking it in the shorts.
Yeah.
We have plenty of opportunity, but our state party didn't do anything for any of our candidates. I don't care if they want to deny that, argue with me, and call me names afterwards, but they didn't do jack.
They
Our
haven't been
candidates
doing
totally
jack.
on their own, except I have to say in Pierce County.
Yeah. Well, our good friend from Dark Horse Political, Chris
Gergen.
Chris
Gergen. God, I don't know what happened to me, man. Anyway, Chris Gergen kind of said the same thing. He listed he provided a really long post on
Dave, you said it much kinder though.
Yeah. He said Republicans are going to get rolled in November as a result of what he saw from the primaries. Do you think it's that bad, or is there enough time?
I don't think it's that bad. There's still opportunity to turn it around,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no getting around it that we're spending more time arguing amongst ourselves rather than going out and trying to win elections.
You're right.
And we need to turn it around, and we need to stop the bickering and the crap and get to work. We've got 5 incumbent races that we're behind in, 4 of them down in Clark County.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely ridiculous. But again, we'd rather fight and decide who's a good Republican and who's not, and rather than getting these people elected. Those races are close. We can definitely turn it around. In the 26th, both David Olson and Katie Cornell did decently well. I think that both of them are really working hard, and I do believe that there's opportunity there to turn things around on the House side. We do have one seat that we don't want to lose. But I think they're both solid candidates, and we're going to get more solid and work on voter turnout. Everything right now is about voter turnout.
Right.
Our candidates did nothing wrong. They worked their butts off. They've done fabulous marketing, doorbelling. They've done everything they need to. Now the party needs to step up and help them. We need to get voter turnout. We're ramping up our voter turnout efforts. We've had meetings on the 25th. We're going to be having meetings on the 26th. We're, for Pierce County. And we're going to be doing some extensive door knocking, doorbelling, and we're going to turn things around there. But statewide, man, I showed up on Tuesday night, with some optimism, and then it's like I got a bloody nose going home.
Right, but also we have a lot of fires going in Eastern Washington and down south. I mean, that's probably
no
displayed.
That's no excuse.
You know what though? But I get it. It's not an excuse. They should have gotten it in sooner. But
crappy voter
we hold on to
turnout
them.
in King County, Pierce County.
It was everywhere. I agree.
It has nothing to do with Spokane.
We've had shit voter turnout for, more than just this election. That's something I yell and scream about.
Yeah, no, it has been a problem, but this time it was really bad.
Oh,
the apathy was just incredible.
Well, people are,
even for a primary,
I keep hearing it doesn't matter anyway. So what's the point? It does matter, and there is a point. You need to exercise your constitutional rights no matter what.
Yeah, that's for people that are policy wonks and in it like you and I and everyone else.
So,
but to the people that I'm getting phone calls from people that said, you know what, I didn't get my ballot, and I didn't even realize that yesterday was the election.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
And they're my Facebook friends, so I'm just like, I read everything you post. Really? You didn't know there's an election coming up, but yeah, no, I'm always optimistic. I always want to be positive and say we can turn it around. But Tuesday night was definitely a severe wake-up call. Severe.
Let me ask you about the 26 specifically, because as we look down the vote totals in the 26, they all amount to about the same numbers, right? Republicans get about 40% of the vote. The combined vote, because in all these races there are multiple Democrats running, but the combined Democrat vote is somewhere in the neighborhood of 60%. People hear a 20% gap, and that seems massive, but it really is only a 10% swing, right? Like if you can pull 10%, you're neck and neck.
Numbers in the 26 is there's a lot more independent voters, swing voters, that in the past have always leaned right. Right now, I think it's pretty split. And I think a lot of those people didn't vote. It's one of the things I don't like about the primary is a lot of people think the primary doesn't mean jack and you're just going to wait till November. That's why you always have more in November. So, but it's a good measurement of where you're at and where you need to work going into the general. But all three of our candidates got about the same numbers, Gary Parker in the Senate. And we just need to regroup and, come out with some fire. And I all three of them are hardworking candidates, have a lot to offer. And I have no doubt that they'll work right up to election day. So I'm still optimistic in the 2026. It's the only place in Pierce County where I have concerns, where, we got two county council races, Mike Solon and Bettina Giese, that we'll be meeting with them next week to help refocus. Both of them kind of got a late start, so I don't feel the numbers really reflect what they're capable of doing. We just have to it's messaging. It's all messaging.
Is Addison Richards in big trouble in the 26? I asked that because he got 31% of the vote, but Natalie Bornfleth, who was the other Democrat on the ticket, pulled in over 28. So she was neck and neck with the incumbent. Do Republicans pull anything out of that? Like, look, there's a huge group of people that are not happy with Addison that maybe we could pull over. Or is Natalie so far left that it's not going to matter?
She's the crazy lefty that crazy left part of the Democrat Party went after. So I don't necessarily think that Addison's in trouble, but I do think David Olson, once we voters start actually paying attention, we're talking about a guy that won his school board races by very large margins. And Peninsula School Board is pretty much the entire Pierce County part of the 26th.
Yeah.
So I do expect better numbers in the general. We just have to work for it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, no, we just really with her vote, we just found out, who are the crazies in the Democrat Party and who are the ones that, just going to support the incumbent.
Can I ask you a question about the 35th again? Not your not your area. I don't. Is there 35th in Pierce?
No,
that's all in Thurston.
But I know the 35th real well.
Okay. The question I got for you about the 35th is Drew McEwen potentially in trouble? Because Republicans have done really well in the 35th, really consistently, but he only won the primary by 300 votes.
Yeah.
That seems, especially when you look at the
Dan and
Travis won pretty handily. McEwen is way closer than I would have expected it to be.
I had my own experience.
And I have
with
to
him.
agree with that, but I also know that in the general, again, there's a number that's a solid red county. And I believe there was, I have to look again, but I don't think as many people voted for McEwen as they voted for Griffey and Travis as far as numbers. I could be wrong, but I do believe that in that district, when the general voter base start coming out, Drew should be just fine. We got it closer than we want race in the 25th. But again, our voters did not turn out in great numbers in the primary. So we have to take that into consideration, but you can't take it for granted either, because in 2025, fewer people showed up in the general than they showed up in the primary.
Wow, that's all right.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever heard that happening, and I don't think it's going to happen again. But Drew's going to work hard. Dan and Travis are great people to have on that ticket to help get those votes in. So if I was a betting man, I'd bet on Drew.
One other kind of abstract question from a district not in your area, but I just want your expertise on this. We've had a lot of talk about Tara Simmons and Daria Elgin up in the 23rd, and one of the abnormalities that we saw out of those was the number of undervotes. The number of people that did not vote in that race that voted in other races in the 23rd. As a guy who knows how all this stuff works, how do you look at a situation where there's undervotes in a primary, where one race just reflects way fewer votes than the other ones? Do you pull hope out of that? Does it signal fatigue from the voters? Is it an opportunity? Like how does that resonate with somebody looking at campaigns?
Well, we got to look at the simple fact that the 23rd is a very weird district. What person in their right mind would vote for Tara Simmons?
That's a great question, my friend.
I've heard 4-letter words thrown out about her. That
did you see my Terra Cup?
I did.
A listener sent this, and
I did.
Yeah, isn't that great? It's very nice.
But I'll refrain from
Thank you.
from your potty mouth.
Yeah,
a cunt knows a cunt.
Beeler does not have. Feelings.
There's a lot of Republicans that just won't vote. They just won't vote. They'd rather just skip it. And then you got the Democrats that do know that Tara's a criminal dingbat, and they voted for the challenger. So that's just a weird district. Back in 2022, I helped a couple of candidates run as Republicans, and just the numbers and the stuff that we heard when we were door knocking, just like, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a bizarre district. Good people. I have nothing bad to say about people in general, but their political minds are kind of
questionable at best.
At best, yeah.
As a Republican, how do you respond, like when you hear, like, one of the things that Daria's tried to do up north is try to get people to vote for him that are Republicans, and his argument is, look, I'm more reasonable than Tara is. She's completely out of her ever-loving mind, and I need Republicans to help back me. I am a Democrat, but I need to reach across and pull some of that. As a Republican, as a guy that is deeply embedded in the Pierce County Republican Party, when you hear a Democrat say that in a race of two Democrats, how do you respond to that? We're keeping our hands out, we're not going to get involved, we're just going to let you guys duke it out? Or do you guys at some point have to go, as a Republican, I have the enemy of my enemy as my friend.
Yeah, no, the Americans and Soviets were allies in World War II. So, I mean, but and the Kitsap County Party is supporting him.
Okay, Kitsap County Republican Party is supporting him.
They are supporting. They can't endorse him. They're not endorsing or anything, but they are going the lesser of two evils route. And,
Good.
You know, they are going out. Me, it'd be an undervote. I'm just so partisan that I won't vote for a Democrat.
I know that, but that's not what they need over there right now.
I know. So I'm just talking me.
Yeah, I get it. Good.
So the Republicans are lucky I'm not voting there because I wouldn't vote, but that's me. So,
but that's the problem is people like you. We're never going to be able to get one step closer to having anything we want unless you guys pull your heads out of your asses and hold your nose and vote for the least favorable or the more favorable person that's going to give you something, just one little piece of what you want instead of always no.
Well, tell us how you feel, Alicia.
Go ahead, Dave. What do you want to respond to
keep
that?
it in check tonight. I'm happy. I'm peaceful.
Yeah, that's very happy and peaceful.
You know, she does the cleaning for our daycare centers.
Does she?
Yeah, she does. She does a darn good job.
Well, thanks, Dave.
So Matt Adams in the chat said Beeler's right. Matt, you should never tell a woman they're right. They'll never let you forget that you said that. But again, I think Beeler's got a good point, right? Like at some point, do we have to hold our nose? And I mean you guys. I'm a Democrat.
That's the individual voters' decision. Like I said, I never tell anybody how they should vote. If they ask my opinion, I give it. I mean, I helped over 300 people fill out their ballots. So I'm the ultimate Democrat because I get to vote and vote and vote and vote and vote. But I mean, I've literally filled, over the phone or by text. I've literally filled out their entire ballot form because there's like, what should I vote for?
Yeah.
So but
I get those
I've
text
never
messages too.
Yeah. So I mean, they're just people that don't pay attention, but to each their own.
Right.
In the back in Pierce County in the 10th congressional district, there's a guy that ran as a Democrat in several different races. And this time, because nobody stepped up to run in the 10th, he suddenly ran for Congress in the 10th. We didn't endorse him because we knew what he was.
Mm-hmm.
And I even posted, I said, vote your conscience, but we're not supporting him. And that, that's that.
Mm-hmm.
But, we have a brand, we have expectations that if you want to run as a Republican, you better be a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's that.
I agree with that. If you're gonna have that our next year,
and the 23rd, people have to make their own decisions, and I support that.
Yeah.
Kitsap County decided they were going to get behind him. I know Tara Simmons is batshit crazy.
Yeah,
and
breaking news.
Yeah,
and her listeners.
I've sat.
Hello, Paul Swafferall.
I've sat in Olympia and watched her run around and her dog.
Oh yeah.
It's just she's so inappropriate in so many different ways, and I don't care if she hears me.
Do you know how many conversations? Do you know how many conversations I've had with this week, like literally this week, with constituents in the 23rd that have tried to talk to her that she doesn't return phone calls to. She won't talk to them. She won't interact with them. She won't do anything with them. Her dog has better access than her voters do, and that should again be an indication of what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you take the politics aside, everything else about her is cringy. Everything else about her is take the politics out. Even if she was a Republican, I'd say the exact same thing. Everything about her is
I
cringy.
guarantee you she'd never be a Republican because she'd never get our support.
Well,
valid.
We just don't like criminals as candidates.
Well, I don't have any issue with her past felony conviction at all. Like she did what she needed to do. She worked through the system. She got
elected so she could have it removed from her.
Well,
her
hold on,
record.
but again, but hold on, but that's cringy. But I'm talking
but all
about
the stuff she's done as an elected representative shows that she hasn't learned anything.
Right, then that's it. But so I don't have an issue with her felonness.
It's her.
I have an issue with her behavior in spite of her felonness. Like we're not gonna put you in the position talking about Tara. That's not even why I hate
so what you're trying to say is lack of rehabilitation.
No, what I'm talking about is lack of integrity and a desire for personal growth. For personal gain.
Okay.
Nothing she does is about being accountable. Everything she does is about what's lining her pockets and or her ego. That's my opinion.
Okay.
But I have
You have a very good, accurate opinion.
I have plenty of empirical data to support it.
Yeah.
Dave, how do Republicans reverse this trend? So if we go off of what you and Chris Gergen said, that things looked really bad coming out of the primaries, how do you guys start to reverse the trend? Because I don't think, Tom's talked about it a lot, that the inadequacy of Republican voters.
The Washington State Republican Party as a whole has not given voters a reason to vote for us. I mean, we have our strongholds and our people are loyal and they vote, but for the low propensity voters, the people that don't pay attention until it's election day and they start calling, asking what they should vote for, and those kind of people, we haven't given them a reason to get excited about us. Period.
So hold on. So is that your candidates? Is that your messaging? I'm going to make it very behind clear. The candidates?
Our candidates, the ones that we're supporting and endorsing statewide, are amazing. I've been helping several of them, even outside of Pierce County. We have amazing, awesome candidates.
So then
we're not getting their message out as a party. Period.
So how do you fix that? Because you're not going to get help from the media, but with the exception of Outlaw Radio Network, by the way, right here on outlawradionetwork.com. But you're not going to get help from the media. How do you get the message out then?
That's a good question. We have a lot of internal work that we have to do. The party has just not responded to the fact that we're losing our base. We have a lot of our voters they've given up and they've moved out of the state. I can't tell you how many people I know personally that no longer live in Washington that were loyal Republican voters.
Yeah.
So we need to do a better job of getting those people who are not.
Right. I was going to say, how do you appeal to the independents and the middle of the road non-party affiliated people?
We have to convince them that we have their best interests in mind. And I know that's a very vague statement, but I talked to some people and they just literally don't have any clue what the Republicans offer. At worst, we are just part of the overall problem. Where we have opportunity is like with the initiatives. I went to a kickoff on Saturday for the millionaire's tax reversal initiative and parents' rights. We have to do a better job of communicating that those are Republican values, because a lot of those swing voters and light Democrats, they sign those initiatives. I mean, we're talking about people that just want to be left alone. They want to earn their money. They want to raise their children. They want their children to go to good schools. And we simply aren't putting out that message that is Republican values. And voting for a Republican will give you those values. They just see one and the other, and then there's little things. And, we still have a problem with who our president is, President Trump. I love him. Most Republicans love him, but he's only polling at about 30% in this state. So it's something that, how do you deal with that? He's our president. He's doing good things. I totally support him, but there's a lot of people out there that can't stand him. I don't understand that. I really don't. But
he's divisive, Dave. Wouldn't you agree to that? I mean, people either love him or hate him. There's
no middle ground. There's no middle ground.
And let me ask you this. And you kind of started touching on it with the president's approval ratings. So how much of the issues do you think Republicans are having in Washington, the state, are just kind of isolated here within Washington state? Or do you think that they are more as a direct result of the fact that we're coming upon a midterm with an unpopular Republican president, and that there's going to be a natural, because we all know how midterms go for the incumbent president, right? They're usually never very good. So how much of this do you think is that versus just who the president is and his own approval ratings?
I think it's equally both. I mean,
Yeah.
let's face it. Even back in his first term, he just never ever was liked overall by the majority in Washington State. We've tried very hard. We've tried to point out all the good things that he does, but it just doesn't resonate in Washington State. To me, that's not a condemnation of President Trump, because you go to other parts of the country and he's absolutely incredibly popular.
Yeah.
Even Eastern Washington, yeah.
Oh yeah, even in Eastern Washington, his popularity is much higher. But most of the population's on this side, and you know, if Seattle fell into the ocean, maybe we'd have a different perspective. But you know, the last presidential election, he got annihilated. He, out of all of our full state candidates, he came in 8th, yeah, at a 7th. So I mean, there's that, and it'd be foolish not to not talk about it. But yeah, it is what it is.
Hey Dave, Corey, one of our listeners has a question. What people half your age think of those amazing candidates that you were talking about? Have you reached out to the younger generations, or are you?
No, that is part of the problem. We have the Republican voter base is older, the Democrat base is younger, and they've been indoctrinated to socialist ideas.
Well, not all of them, because
not all of them. No, we've got some good people.
I went to school with Corey. Let me just preface that. So we keep seeing these. I mean, and never mind. I'm gonna stop talking.
Well, if you went to school with Corey, then he's a pretty old guy.
Come on, Beeler. There's no political correctness. Say it.
I said, if you went to school with Corey, he's a pretty old guy. He's up there with the rest of us.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, my grandkids are listening.
Oh, yes. God, and by the way, I was just going to read that.
Sorry.
Patty mentioned in the chat, Dave, your grandboys are watching. Great job, Beeler, showing the cup and saying all that. How dare you?
I mean, I did.
Roman said, Papa is fixing the governor. Amen, Roman. Amen. So
the governor be fixed?
Electroshock therapy. So Lilat is in full Lilat mode tonight, and I'm trying to catch up on all Lilat's comments. And then Lilat challenged me to be a man and ask a question. Lilat, are you implying that women can't ask tough questions? Because that's what it sounds like to me, you misogynist. Anyway, so but he wants to know, does Trump represent Republican values? Do you think he does?
Absolutely, without question. You look at the policies that he's done, he absolutely represents Republican values. Problem is these people that have TDS, they don't look at what it is. They just have this thing in their mind, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. And they listen to crap that comes out of the Seattle Times and other stuff like that. People who pay attention, yes, I'll stand by President Trump every day of the week.
Okay.
I'm just pointing out that there's a problem in this state with people understanding what he's all about.
Well, I think there's probably a problem nationally with people understanding your understanding of what he's all about. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's just a Washington thing. I think if you're a card carrying conservative, you're probably more in Trump's camp, and if you're not, then no matter what he does, good or bad,
exactly,
he's going to be the Antichrist. Christopher said this. He says, and again, I want you to respond to this, although Chris is pretty blunt about it. Chris said, people don't like to support candidates and make excuses for pedophiles and rapists, no matter what party. You've swung a little too far right as a party. I know many hard R's that will not vote for their party because of Iran.
Christopher, you're a moron. Bottom line, to say we support pedophiles, I know what you're talking about. You're a moron. You are part of the people that are brain dead and think that Trump is a pedophile. No, absolutely not. Go play in the playground and let the grown-ups here continue the conversation.
Well, for the record, there's hold on, Kevin, there's zero evidence of that too. And if there was, you darn well better believe that Biden and the Democrats would have brought it up.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
That's why. So, go away. I'm not going to even entertain that kind of stupidity.
And Andy, whom I love, by the way, Andy, nice to see you watching the show, man. Andy said, and I think, again, great points about the perception of the party. He said, so the state party needs to communicate better, doesn't have a young base, can't inspire half the state to vote. As an independent conservative, give me a good reason to vote for your amazing candidates.
I like that term, independent conservative.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I challenge every single voter to get off their lazy butts and investigate the candidates, because bottom line, it is about the candidate.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that don't vote already aren't going to go further sleuthing to pick their best candidate. They're just going to vote what people tell them to vote.
And whose fault is that?
Theirs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you tell me we can only do so much,
but
we can do a better job of getting messaging out. And after this election, I'm stepping up and doing things that I need to do to help the party, because I don't quit.
Right.
I think messaging in general needs to go out to the voting public, right? And
Yes.
because I think most people have some common sense.
Absolutely.
But I don't think most people vote.
No, there's a lot of people that just do not vote, and we need.
So the message doesn't need to be party specific.
Absolutely.
It just needs to be get off your ass and vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something.
Take
I'd
the
jump up-
initiative to vote. Take the initiative to look at your candidates. I'm looking at candidates all over the state, and I'm helping candidates all over the state.
Mm-hmm.
Most voters just have to worry about 2 to 3 key issues. They're legislators every 2 years, and every 4 years they're senator.
Mm-hmm.
They have some county council races. They're usually congressional. It's not complicated.
Yeah.
We just need to get people. And I'm sorry, I do believe that the whole concept of mail-in voting has failed miserably, because they say, oh, it gives everyone the opportunity to vote. Voter turnout numbers are lower than they ever were when you had to go in.
You know why? Because there's no excitement built up for it anymore.
Yeah, there's no bringing it.
Yeah.
You
don't go to cast your ballot and run into your neighbors and talk about what you did on the weekend.
Yeah,
and all
I
that
remember
jazz.
when we used to go to the fire station at our precinct to vote. All my neighbors and friends were there. It was like, hey, whatever. And we'd talk about it. We'd exchange. Some people be there with like, I showed up and I haven't really looked at it.
And
stuff,
community is so important, and we are lacking that.
Community
in so
has
many
been
different-
lost
yes.
in the whole voting process.
Exactly.
So I'm going to say it. Mail-in voting, they say it's popular, it's this and that. No, it promotes laziness, bottom line.
Right.
And it gives people, even if they want to, they can prove that there's no fraud. I've never been convinced that there's no fraud, but I also don't believe it's as extensive as some people try to make it.
Right.
Sure.
It gives people, why should I vote? They're just going to cheat anyway. They're just going to bring in a bunch of mail-in ballots and stuff. Valid, concern, but it turns people off. I think mail-in voting turns people off way more than. I would love to have one election where we went back to the old system. Show your ID, you get a ballot, you go in the little box, you fill everything out, and you put it in the thing, and they give you a little sticker. Voter turnout will be way higher. I guarantee it.
Yeah, it's funny because
no doubt in my mind, because I deal with it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because my logical brain is thinking, well, how can Dave make that statement? How do we quantify that? And then I just think of what you just said. The percentage of people who are able to vote that are voting is the lowest it's ever been. So how could we be wrong by going back to the old way and seeing that makes a difference? We have disenfranchised. If you look at the primary, we've disenfranchised the 75% of the voting public that either don't care or don't want to care or can't make the time or aren't interested.
I don't think it's that. I don't think they're disenfranchised. I think they're uninformed.
Well, I meant like intellectually disenfranchised. They're just completely disconnected from it. They have no investment in it.
They have no reason to get engaged.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, your ballot shows up in the mail, kind of like junk mail.
Yeah, and people put it to the side.
I have a young lady that we've hired to do our get out the vote in Pierce County, and she's a real go-getter. She goes to a big church, and she was going out telling all over the people that were there, make sure you vote, make sure you vote. She was stunned to find out there was people that just said, oh, my ballot came in the mail and I just threw it away. I'm just not interested.
I said they treat it like junk mail.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's to the point that
Because
Kevin was making.
that ballot showing up in the mail and in your hand is not an incentive to vote.
It's not.
It's not.
No. And let me ask you this, Dave, because we've just recently seen, due to a FOIA request, communications between the auditor in King County, and I don't know who she was talking to, but she basically acknowledged what, at least on this show, we've been talking about for years, and that is that everybody that gets a driver's license in Washington state automatically gets registered to vote. Now, people can extrapolate their own data from that, right? But there are several hundred illegal immigrants in this state that are licensed drivers, right? Now, I'm not saying that they're all going out and voting, but this is a legitimate criticism of how the Democrats in this state have chose to conduct things. They've gone that direction intentionally. We see the same arguments at the federal level, right? We saw Schumer, in fact, make the comment that if the SAVE Act passed, that could disenfranchise 25 million people. Just let that sink in, right? So it seems to me is that on multiple levels now, because we've not just seen this in Washington, we've seen it on the East Coast as well, right? Do you think that adds to the disenfranchisement of specifically Republican voters?
Absolutely, because they feel that the system's rigged. And you go back to what you just said, it's just ironic. So anyone that fills out, applies for a driver's license and is given one automatically gets a ballot. Why is it that a standard Washington state driver's license doesn't work to get on an airplane? And you have,
but it'll get them voting rights.
And you have to pay extra to get a passport style driver's license that the federal government recognizes. Driver's licenses in Washington state are fraudulent. So,
yep. So I'm glad to hear you agree with that, because it's something I've been harping on for a while, and I believe it 110%. And I think that when we hear people on the left side of the political spectrum try to say, but there aren't that many. We heard our own representative out of the 6th district make that comment when the news broke that there were 6,000 and some odd registered illegal immigrants to vote on the East Coast. And she was like, yeah, but the numbers of those that voted was extremely limited, a couple dozen. Like, you know that those numbers being thrown out are utter bullshit, because you know she didn't and nobody else sat down and counted them. And if they did, they're not going to tell us.
Well, you also remember your congressional rep of the 6 also said it's all white men's fault.
I know. Yeah. We're the real danger to society.
Yeah.
God help us all. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dave, how optimistic are you about November? I mean, how optimistic are you that the rudder can be turned? I know it's like turning a cruise ship. It's a slow, gradual pull. How optimistic are you, honestly, that that there's enough time and that there's honestly enough resources, right? The state party's got minimal money in their bank account. You guys can only do so much with what you have. Is there enough time?
I think so.
Okay.
And I never give up. I never give up. I'm always fighting. I fought the ultimate battle and I beat cancer. There is nothing I won't go after. And I do believe that if people just get out and vote, we can win. The votes are out there. They've done studies that if these, deadwood Republicans that just given up, just won't vote for their own reasons, would vote, we'd win a lot of these races. We'd win a lot of them. So it's just a matter of us as a party, a whole party, finding out what our strategy is and actually implementing it and quit. I mean, let's get the egos out of it. Let's get the self-promotion out of it. Let's actually get some leadership that wants to win. Everybody says they want to win, but how many of them actually do what it takes to win, set aside their own personal agendas and win? There's candidates I support, they didn't win, and I supported the one that did win in primaries.
Yeah.
It's going to be happening here in a couple of races. But for me, it's more important that a Republican wins that seat I don't give a damn if they're a rhino or they're a far right radical. If they're the Republican in the general that can win, I'm 100% behind them. And that's the mindset we got to get behind, is that, we've had races in the past where the candidate they wanted didn't win, so they just went home.
Yeah. Can I ask another quick question here, Kevin? Real quick. I've heard a lot of criticisms of the Republican Party, people pointing out that they feel that Republicans need to become more conservative, not more moderate, in order to win in Washington state. And they just point to the fact that they, looking back over the last 20 years, this is the result of trying to become more moderate and less conservative. What are your thoughts on that particular concept?
I think that as a conservative, I believe in that statement. However, we live in Washington state. There just are not enough conservatives. I was a firm believer when Rush Limbaugh was on the radio. He said conservative wins every time it tried. Rush hasn't spent much time in Washington state.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not sure that works here, but I understand it.
It works very well in Eastern Washington.
Yes.
Well, with that being said, though, there's a lot of moderates that win.
Yes, that's kind of what I was looking for. Yeah,
some solid, hard moderates in very red areas that win, and the conservative that goes against them doesn't win. So I don't think there's a real solid answer. As a conservative, I'm going to try to get a conservative in every single time. But I've got parts like in my county that a conservative couldn't win if they were passing out $100 bills for votes.
And that's the problem in a lot of places.
A really good moderate that I agree with 80% of the time. God bless Ronald Reagan. I'm going to support him.
Right. Yeah.
So, it's a fine line. There's some people that are just not compromising, and I work with those people. They're good people. They have strong values that I highly respect, but I've been in this too long to know that sometimes what I want and what will win are just two different things.
And that's the same ideology that the radical left takes.
That's coming from someone who's been a county chair in a very purple,
purple district. Yeah.
It's just the way it is. There's been candidates I just couldn't stand personally, but I was out there raw cheering them on. I want them to win.
Well,
amen.
I can name one you didn't want to win.
Who's that?
Joseph Bumbles.
Well, there's.
I'm just waiting for that lawsuit, Bumbles. Where are you?
There's weak candidates, and then there's ass clowns.
Brumbles. Dave, that was what I knew. You and I were kindred spirits, man. We both aligned on hating Joseph Brumbles. That was all right.
I never hated him. He was just a dumbass.
It's just a bitch, just an idiot, just in threat.
Your grandkids are watching.
I'm still waiting for him to sue me.
No, I say that in front of Papa. You said a bad word.
Brumbles, you can spell my name KDAWG. All right. Dave, we love you. We appreciate you. Will you come on one more time before November?
Yeah,
we'll kind of handicap things. I know you always do.
Yeah.
You always do. You're always accessible.
If I can't come here, I'll do it remote.
That's perfect, man. We love you so much.
And you're going to be at the race. You're going to be at the race. So I'll let you in the top secret plan, okay? We got to discuss strategy because, Dave, with all due respect to my co-host, nobody wants to listen to him brag for another year.
We sure
No. I tell you what.
It's the seven of us taking it out.
I'm filling the stands up with my people. I'm going to fly them in from California. I'm going to bring them in, and they're going to watch me as I have a victory.
Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. And Dave.
I hope you win, Dave.
And Dave, most of all, man, congratulations on the cancer, fight.
Yes.
I know that you got to hold off until when?
September 18th is when I have my big final, not final, but big.
Like a PET scan or something, or?
Well, no, at the end of August, I'll do another MRI and I believe PET scan. Like right now, I'm my testosterone has been brought down to such low levels. I'm
it's an energy depleter
because of the chemo.
Because testosterone.
And neither testosterone.
Yeah, prostate cancer cells feed on testosterone, so I've had to keep it real low. It's kind of sucked my energy and different stuff. Like I had to take a nap before I came here. But they're incredibly optimistic. And last time I talked to them, they were just saying what I told you and stuff. But I'll do those final tests. I think it's August 31st. I don't remember. But then September 18th, I go in for the big news, and that's when they're going to tell me if I'm officially and
we know that's going to happen because good things happen for good people.
It's all in the hands of Jesus Christ, and that's all I can say. I just everything I do, I see Jesus, and that's how I live my life now. And what he says is what it's going to be.
Amen.
I love that for you, Dave.
Love you, man.
So
I really do. I love you. We don't agree on everything politically, but one thing I appreciate about you is that we don't have to. We can still talk and be brothers and share and communicate, and we accept what we don't agree on and move forward.
People think that I'm so hardcore that I won't listen to the other side.
Yeah.
People don't understand. I love talking to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I love having debate on the issues.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that bubble of just hearing my side.
Right.
I love to hear the other side. It's how I can either solidify my points of view, or I can
think about it a different way.
I've actually, you're talking about Hanny, and stuff. Her and I, we've met for coffee and stuff. We talk all the time. I think she's a great gal.
There's a lot of Republicans that interact with her and love her and communicate with her, and it's cordial, even though they don't agree on everything. Robert Parker, who's really active he
introduced me to her.
But he has they interact and talk all the time from what I've been told by Robert in the past. And I think it speaks volumes to what we need.
We talk on social media all the time.
Yeah, that's what we need, though, right? We need the left and the right to have a conversation and not be dug in.
Absolutely. I would love to spend as much time as possible with the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is that when I do try to engage the other side, they back off.
Yeah,
because they think I'm hard. I am hardcore. I don't bend.
Mm-hmm.
I listen, but I rarely bend.
Yeah.
So, some people's like, what's the point? But if you don't bend, I still want to hear you, because I want, if you're that engaged in your point of view, I want to know what it is. Why are you so headstrong in your views?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah.
So it's not really about trying to change their mind. I want to learn what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind sharing with them how I feel.
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like if there's more of that conversation, we start to heal the divide. Again, it feels like I'm picking on Tara, and I probably am.
Yes, you are.
But politicians like Tara are part of the problem, in the sense that they just further the divide. Again, regardless of whether or not they are for or against or good or bad or Republican or Democrat, anybody who just pushes that division, belittles the other side, refuses to have conversations, is just further weakening what we do in society.
What she wants, but her goal is to degrade our communities.
Yep. Amen.
Anybody that wants criminal activity to be normal, I'm sorry, is sick.
Yep.
And I'd say it to her face.
I would love to set that up. That'd be great. I just bring some popcorn and
it would be, Pull Hanny, sit right here, and you can listen to us talk the way we talk.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And
we leave respecting each other.
Yeah. No, Hanny's really good about that, about having conversations with both sides. I think she's great with that. So speaking of Hanny, we'll talk about her in a minute. Dave, thanks for coming up, man.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
You're welcome anytime. You're one of those open door peeps with us. We'd love to have you back. We'll do it again at least one time before the November generals.
Just give me a call. Have me come on right after the 18th September. I'll give you the big news.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, that sounds
We'll
great.
make that happen.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Dave McMullen, he's a Pierce County Republican Party chair. I know Beeler already went and used the restroom,
Yeah,
but
I couldn't hold it any longer.
but we still got to take a break. We're going to segue out. We'll get Dave out of here so he can go home and take another nap. Maybe Beeler will have to take care of her 14-year-old bladder one more time. When we come back, Hanny, I love you, but I got to call you out on something. So we'll do that when we get back. It's Outlaw Radio Network. Stay tuned, outlawradionetwork.com.
I was searching for you along the dock of the bay. Mine scrabble 7-letter thoughts of what I can play. When I finally found you sitting there, it's blowing astray. Then I shouted out your name so I can finally say, I'm sorry for saying that I wanted you gone.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance. Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Rain Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Rain Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Rain Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional. On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network,
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of Paul,
I have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplaining.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network, Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10.
You older people, I know you're getting a little edgy right now, but you better get into me because I don't want to bum you out, but I'm the future of America.
This is the Outlaw Radio Network.
Good evening, my fellow citizens. It's kind of stony, huh?
It's the real thing. A radio signal from another world.
The United States government presents
The Outlaw Radio Network. Outlaw Radio Network.
To provide guidance to mankind.
All right, it's Outlaw Radio. We are back. Thanks for checking out the show. We appreciate you.
I kind of like that.
We want to thank our good friends at Paul's Vote for All for supporting the show. We love you. Thank you for that. Glad you guys are a part of what we do. Paul's Vote for All. Or as I refer to them, bitches. All right, Outlaw Radio. Thanks again to Destination Highway 420, our proud sponsors out on Hollow Street, East Bremerton. Black Ring Spirits, home of the show. Kitsap Great Escape, Evergreen Grace, Admin a la carte, and the Pierce County Republican Party, our newest sponsor. Just kidding. I do believe the Pierce County Republican Party has more money in their coffers than the state Republican Party does, but I have nothing to back that up with, so someone's talking shit. So listen, Paul is here. Hello, Paul.
Hello. Hey, was there were there a bunch of loud kids running through the mall in that segment?
Yeah, there's like people playing bunco or something down the way, and they keep yelling.
Okay,
Listen.
I just wasn't sure if I was mishearing something or what the deal was. So.
No, you know what's great? And I would normally be really annoyed that there's so much background when we're trying to do the show, right? Yeah. I love that this mall's got some movement in it.
Yeah.
that
it's really
there's
good
some
to see.
voices, there's
Yeah.
some people doing stuff. I mean, and it's not packed by any stretch on a Saturday night, but it's just nice to hear some traffic down here and some movement. I'm really happy about that. So listen, I want to call out our good friend Hanny Baxter. She's the former. She's on. Hi, Hanny. Well, good. I'm glad you can hear it. She's the former head of the Kitsap County Democrat Party. She's been on here a lot, including a couple of weeks ago when she came in. I love Hanny. I'm not picking on Hanny, but I have to call out bullshit when there's bullshit to be called out as bullshit. Hanny posted in one of those secret Uber Squirrel chat groups by the far progressive left people up north that Outlaw Radio Network got kicked off the air by Alan Gottlieb and his radio stations in some way, I don't know, to draw an alliance with the dumb cluckery that's up there. I don't know. Hanny, that's a lie and you know it. Like, it's not even a debate that you know it because you've been here and you know it. The entire reason why Outlaw is not on the radio stations anymore is because the radio stations don't exist. Gottlieb shut down all 4 of his stations, not just the one we were on, all 4 of them. All of them. And by the way, if you talk to Khan, who is the general manager, and if you talk to Alan, he'll tell you how much he loves us. Because he did. He almost made personnel staffing changes to keep us. So if you want to make alliances on the north end, Hanny, more power to you. I love you. You can totally do that. But if you're going to publicly post it, then I think you should publicly correct it. Now, I know, as you said in chat, you talked to Paul. That's
and maybe
perfect.
maybe she did. I don't know.
I would just like to see that she did. That's all I'm saying. It bugs
I don't know. We
me.
had Hanny and I had a very nice conversation about it. So
No, I know, and I'm not trying to be mean to Hanny. Like, I love Hanny. I can't say that enough. But it challenges every fiber of my being to go out and spread misinformation and then be told that you were spreading misinformation and not spread correct information in the same place. It gets back to that Daryl Doggs crap, right? Doggs' name gets dragged through the mud. He's accused of being a pedophile. Everybody ranks on him. They want him arrested. They want him to be fired from his jobs. And then it comes out the BPD has cleared him and that it was ghost IP from another state. And the people that drug his name through the mud are now oddly quiet. Like,
actually, I heard an apology.
Okay,
I did too.
But not all of them, though. I'm not picking on. I'm talking about it as an overall thing, right? We are so quick to talk smack about other people, but when we find out we're wrong, we're not nearly as quick to come back and say, "I screwed up." So I'm not picking on Hanny. I would say this if it was anybody, if it was Dave McMullen, if it was Jesse Young, if it was Daria Elgin, if it was anybody, I would say this about anybody. If you go out and lead with stuff that you find out isn't true, then have some goddamn integrity and go back to the place you spread the lies and post the truth. And if you can't do that, then it means you don't have any integrity. Now, I'm not saying Hanny has no integrity because I don't know if she did it or not, or if she's going to do it or not.
She did.
So
she said so in the chat.
Okay, I hope so. But it's to me, it's a small picture of the larger problem. This is why they don't trust you,
or us, media in general.
But the media, politicians, talking heads. This is why nobody trusts anybody, because they will spread lies. And the minute those lies get some sunlight on them, they go silent. There are still people here today that believe that the COVID vaccine was a requirement to save people's lives. But we know in 2026 that 90% of the stuff they released about it was bull.
I'm so glad I didn't get a shot.
But nobody's come out and acknowledged it. So there's a lot of people that still believe it. There's a lot of people out there that believe that Daryl Doggs is a pedophile.
And he is not.
Because the veracity in which they promoted the lie did not match the veracity in which they promoted the truth. Y'all have a responsibility. That's everybody. Every single person that's in a position of authority or a position of influence. You all have a responsibility.
See, I don't think you're right about that, brother. And I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I think that's the problem. People don't have a responsibility to correct the record, right?
Well,
we all have freedom of
They don't have a sense of responsibility.
Yeah, to Tom's point, right? I'm just saying that I think that's more of the issue, right, Kev? It's that people don't feel compelled. They don't feel like they need to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. And Hanny says that I'm speaking about a 23rd Democratic group that's now closed. And Hanny, if you say you did, then I believe that you did. Again, I'm speaking of the larger conversation now. The veracity in which stuff is spread when it's a lie does not match the veracity of the truth. That's a problem. Mm-hmm. And when you combine that with AI and the fact that now we can't even trust when we see Donald Trump saying something, it's really Donald Trump and not an AI version of something Donald Trump might have said. The trust factor continues to decline. Dave talked a lot in the last hour about how people don't vote. Mm-hmm. This is part of the reason why people don't vote, because they can't believe any of you, anybody. They don't believe us. We came on the air a month ago and talked about the stuff that Tara Simmons is knee deep in. I know 100% that everything we reported is true. But people don't believe us. You know why? Well, one, because they believe we're a right-wing hate podcast, which is laughable. But two, because nobody knows what to believe about anything. Nobody knows if anybody's telling the truth about anything. That's an issue. And we're not going to get voting numbers back up. We're not going to get engagement back up. We're not going to get people re-energized to be involved until those things get fixed.
Right.
And I don't think it'll ever get fixed.
I was just going to ask that. Do you think those...
Oh my gosh.
Do you
Can
think,
just stop for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Hanny, he is not talking about you anymore.
No,
okay?
I moved on from that
he
when you
moved
said
on
that.
to the larger picture. So
Larger picture.
Just calm down.
Did I miss something?
Yeah.
I mean, she's coming in chat that I'm coming at her. I'm not coming at her, Hanny. I said if you did it, then you did it, and that's good. Thank you.
That's the end of it. We're done with that. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah. So I'm just this division and I mean the problem with technology is, right, we have this massive communication system that anyone can tap into at any time and spout out anything they want, and it seems the West Coast has just got this, very like liberal stance of things, and then people start moving around. Do you and I'm not saying liberal thought is bad, because it's not. It just needs
necessary.
to be balanced. It's absolutely necessary. I mean, nothing advances without liberal thought. Just
That's
like,
right. Agreed.
I mean, but you have to balance it with conservative restraint, I guess. Do you think this division's going to kind of continue to grow?
Yeah, it's only going to get worse.
I mean,
unless we meet in the middle.
I don't know if I agree that it's only going to get worse. I think if we can get a transcendent candidate, right? Like throughout America's history, there have occasionally been these candidates that came in, ran for office, united some people in some really unique ways. JFK, Reagan, I think even Obama to a lesser extent. But there were these transcendent candidates that showed up and pulled people into them, right? Mm-hmm. So if somebody shows up like that on a federal level, then I think we could see that. And I think we're due, right? It seems to happen every so often. And I think we're about due. But if that doesn't happen, then I agree with you. The divide will deepen. It will continue to get worse. The other thing I want to push back on is this idea that we're the worst we've ever been. Like Paul's talked about it before. We had a civil war, for Christ's sakes. We are not the worst we've ever been. Go research the election of 1800. Go research the election. I think it was 1904. This is a cyclical point in American politics where we get really, really hateful and really, really screwed, and everybody hates each other. And then something specific happens that pulls us back to the middle.
Right.
And I don't know what that's going to be, but it's going to come at some point.
Well, hell, we used to tar and feather politicians we didn't like. And
we should do that still.
Oh, that's not a pleasant process.
No, I think that would be really amazing.
Yeah.
There's a few people I would want to throw in the tar and feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
could have a party.
Not all of them survived that process.
That's okay. We could take some of your whiskey and just make a day out of it.
Mm-hmm.
No. Well,
Tawny said it only grows when people feel like they're not being heard and they haven't learned to listen. Listening is an act of love. I don't debate that at all, Tawny. I think that's genius. But I think that the political spectrums don't want to love each other. They want to silence each other. But go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
No, I was just going to, to kind of what Tawny said, Kevin, and going back to what you said, listen, this, and I'm going to use this as an example, right? Because there's been a lot of stuff thrown around by all kinds of people, but what I find really interesting, for example, when we came out and released the Terra files and we had that conversation, following the conversations up north, like one of the first things I saw is that the text message chain between Daria and her was BS, right? You have people so I posted it, right? And then crickets, because people don't want, they're like, well, Tara's done all this great work. And this isn't about Tara, I'm just using this as an example.
Sure.
Tara's done all this great work. We love Tara. But the point is people want to love her because it's a cult of personality, right? I voted for Trump and I've been almost nothing but critical of the guy for the last 6 months. If you can't see past or if people can't recognize their own bias that is deeply ingrained within them, you can't have conversations about anything. If you're more worried about your party than your community, you can't have a conversation. You've got to be willing to have the conversation and hear the hard parts out loud. You have a right to be offended. We as a show, we have a right to offend you. Mm-hmm. And if we don't get you thinking, well, it doesn't do any good to listen. Here's
the other problem too, Paul, that I've got, right? Like when Hanny was down here a couple weeks ago, she told us, I don't think you guys are hateful. I don't think you guys are racist. Like, why didn't that lead the story? Why wasn't that put in the comment? Why wasn't that shared? Right?
Because it didn't match the narrative that people are trying to display.
But that's what I'm talking about, right? Listen, I'm going to say the truth. I'm going to say my truth no matter what. I'm not going to filter my message for anybody, anytime, anywhere. What I'm going to say to Tara's face is the same thing I'll say when Daria is on the air, is the same thing I'll say when Dave is on the air, is the same thing I will say when I'm standing on a street corner with a sandwich board on. I will say the same thing every time. I'm horrible.
I won't ever say cunt in front of a candidate again.
No, thank God for that. Thank God for that. But listen, I just want people to be honest all the time. And I'm going to be honest. I think part of my frustration with the Hanny situation is that rather than go into that group and say, I know these guys, I've been on there a whole bunch of times. They're not racist. They're not bigots. They're not hateful.
Right.
Instead, the only message she chose to post about us was a lie about how we got kicked off the radio. Now she's owned that. That's fine.
But let me say this. We don't know that she lied about that. It may have been her opinion based on what she knew. We don't know for sure what she knew. But to your point, Kevin, to your point though, she could have said, I think. Right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Words matter.
Which we do it a lot. We do that a lot. I don't know. I think this is my opinion.
She may never talk to me again, and she may never want to come on the show while I'm here again, and that's okay. Because I'm not.
She's fine, Kevin.
I'm not kid gloving anybody. Like I'm gonna talk about everybody the same way. You guys want me to have integrity and be straight up all the time? I will be, but that means occasionally I'm gonna piss in somebody's Cheerios.
Yeah, by the way, if you do that to me again, dude, I'm going to cold cock you.
I know. That's fine. Hey, listen.
That
really
was
quick,
not okay.
I want to cover a couple of other things on the Terra front, if you guys don't mind.
All right.
So the first thing is, I just want to point out something that I think is really important.
Okay.
So remember what we talked about last week, which is the nonprofit that Terra was, Terra donated $30,000 to a nonprofit, and then they spun it off, and they did all kinds of yodelly stuff, and they finally
better minds, better community.
Yeah, but then they got a different name, and anyway.
Okay.
The website that they opened didn't open until like July 27th.
Mm.
Do you know what happened before July 27th?
No.
Yes, we had the story about her and Daria on there.
We outed her.
Yeah.
We outed her, and we outed the nonprofit. So think about that.
But we don't know for certain. We don't know for certain that's why that website came up. It may have already been being worked on.
We do know that it didn't come up until after we reported on
Correct.
it. Correct. So I'm gonna make the just the thought. Would that have come out had we not? Or was that a cover your ass scenario? I mean, maybe, but if you've looked at the website, it certainly doesn't seem like it required a lot of effort. I mean, it's a very, very basic, almost GoDaddy-esque website. I mean, it doesn't strike me as anything that would have required somebody with a lot of talent to build.
And here's the thing, Kevin, about websites, brother, they can be made in 10 minutes with AI now.
Oh yeah, that's true. AI is both great and horrible at the same time. The other thing I want to share, and I don't know if you guys have heard about this. So I gotta find it now. Hold on a second. So the chair of the 20. Oh, go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
I was just going to say something positive about Tara.
Oh, please do.
I think that it's important that people recognize when people make the comments up north that she is very in tune with her constituencies. I think that she's right, and I think the voting totals on Thursday, on Wednesday, and Tuesday to somewhat validated that. I think the problem is that there's and listen, saying that it's BS and not true doesn't make the problem go away, which is that there are ethics issues with Tara. This is why she's had an ethics complaint filed so many times against her, right? So there, and that's what I hear a lot of people pointing towards, right? Mm-hmm. The criminal behavior in the past is an issue, right? So you can't say, well, she's had her record expunged, therefore she's no longer a felon. She'll always be a felon to a vast portion of the population. And when they say that she represents a big portion of her constituency, they're not wrong. The problem is that she chooses to only represent that portion of her constituency.
Yeah.
Right. Like she, if you are on the other side of the political aisle from her, she was a friend of this show and she came on every year, usually more than once, until we asked the hard questions. Well, all that's going to do is make us ask tougher questions and dig more and talk more and listen more. Right. Instead of acknowledging, maybe I didn't handle that correctly. Oh, maybe I should. I'm not going to blow off the constituents in my district, but then I'm going to go post myself shooting weapons that I'm trying to outlaw, right? Yep. So these are all legitimate issues and they speak to character. And so when people talk about her, they're talking about her character. And when people just blow it off and ignore it, that doesn't make the issues go away. It makes people fight and yell louder. That's all. That's what I wanted to say about it.
Yeah.
Valid point, Paul.
So there was a statement made by the 23rd Democrat. I'm trying to remember. She's the 23rd LD chair. Val Torrens. I didn't want to get her name wrong. So there was a newsletter that was released 2 days ago on Friday, and I'm going to read this verbatim. And by the way, secret people in your party are sending me stuff. Congratulations. It's good stuff.
Hey, careful. That might be taken as a threat.
Well, when you play the victim, everything's a threat.
Yes,
so here's
that's
what it
true.
said. I'm going to read this verbatim. All right. It says, there are times when one does not want to speak out, but feels there is no other choice. For me, this is one of those times. I was appalled by reports of 2 incidents at the recent LD meeting. The first was a combined motion by Terry Schumacher to endorse both Chad Enright for Kitsap County Prosecutor and Tara Simmons for State Representative, even though the Executive Board's recommendation was to approve them and their opponents, Joe Lombardi and Daria Elgin. The membership ultimately voted to amend the motion by splitting the 2 races, which I think is fair. Chad Enright met the required 75% threshold for endorsement. How'd that work out for you as Lombardi won that, but whatever. While the motion to endorse 3-term incumbent Tara Simmons failed, here's a very telling statement. In my 20 plus years of local party involvement and experience, this is unprecedented for an elected official of that tenure. The second, we owe Jewel Shepard Sampson, the vice chair of the Kitsap County Democrats, an apology for the shabby treatment that occurred. Regardless of the specifics of Jewel's membership, she did, in fact, receive an email from me and a member who oversees membership lists stating that her membership issue was fixed in May 2026. I was quite surprised to hear that she was refused the right to vote and was ostracized in front of the entire membership. Even if there was confusion regarding membership, good faith should be given by the chair and acting chair as needed. This was an opportunity for growth, and we could acknowledge that we made mistakes. However, the continued humiliation was unprofessional, uncalled for, and discriminatory. It should also be noted that this was not a typically attended LD meeting. Pay attention to this. There was a large number of people in attendance who do not normally participate in our monthly meetings, nor, do not live in our LD, and brand new members attending for the very first time. You can draw from your own brain about whether or not somebody might have attempted to pack it. That's my comment. Quote, our society has a long way to go before we can assume everything is being treated equally, regardless of skin color or other equality that people use to separate one another. We can do better. Given the public light this meeting received, it is necessary to correct the record and commit to doing better publicly. I do give credit to the member who spoke up and to Jewel, who continued to advocate for herself as well. It is not easy to do that in the best circumstances, and this was not one of those times. We need to do better, ensure accountability, and live up to Democrat values we share. So The issues regarding Jewel Shepard Sampson, I don't know a lot about that. There was debate about whether or not she was still a member. They denied her the right to vote, even though her membership issues had been resolved. I don't know a lot about that, but I really, really, really want to focus on the first half of this, because what we had heard being promoted through those fringy sites was that there was discrepancies in the voting and they worded it incorrectly, and that's why Tara didn't get the nomination.
Yeah.
Well, when I hear this, the LD had decided to endorse both of them, and then a whole bunch of interesting people that aren't normally there showed up, and even with that, she couldn't get the endorsement. The endorsement. Look, guys, if that doesn't tell you that it's a 3-term incumbent, it's a 3-term incumbent who, at least in my opinion, would appear that she tried to pack it, and they still failed. Meanwhile, people from her past campaigns have jumped off of her bandwagon like rats off the Titanic. Go find people that promoted her her campaigns in past elections, who worked beside her. Find the nonprofit she was with, including the one that she founded. None of them want anything to do with her. Why is that? Look, back in my single days, when I effed up every relationship I'd ever been in, how ridiculous would it be for me to claim I was a victim when every relationship I've been in failed because of distrust and cheating and other nonsensical BS? Or do all lines point back to Kevin? I'll answer that for you. All lines point back to Kevin. Okay? If you're Tara Simmons and all these relationships have frayed and all these people have left your camp and all these folks that were allies are now not allies anymore. I won't say that they're enemies because that's a strong word, but they're certainly not allies anymore. When all those relationships dissolve, are you going to go out and blame all those relationships? Or do all lines point back to Tara? All lines point back to Tara. You vote how you want to vote. But you have the 23rd LD coming out and basically, in the best politically correct, nicest way, pointing the finger back at Tara. You couldn't get an endorsement after you packed the room. The party doesn't trust you. The LD doesn't trust you. And half of the people there don't like you. And your former friends have abandoned you. That's what I got. That's it.
Well, self-reflection is as important in politics as it is in everyday life, right? It is. Absolutely. So, I don't like here's the worst argument that I hate to hear from people when they're discussing a politician. He's a flip-flopper. You mean because he changed his mind on something? That's whether I agree or disagree. So people aren't allowed to change their mind? Yeah, of course they are once they get more information, right? I mean, I want a person in office who's not going to be afraid of changing his mind on an issue. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah. Annie Whitson said, if everybody else is the problem, maybe it's you. Yeah. And you just have to be honest enough to admit it. Like, just be adult enough to come with it. You know what would make me respect Tara all over again? If Tara came forward and didn't play a victim and just said, I messed up. Like, it may not change whether or not I would vote for her if I was in her district, which I'm not, but I'd respect her a whole hell of a lot more. If she just came forward and she said, I messed up. I donated some money to a nonprofit that I thought was doing more than they were doing, or I X or I Z or I Y, and owned it and didn't play victim and just fell on her sword. I'd respect her a little bit more. But she's never going to do that. Every conversation, every invitation leads to her being a victim. Like, that's key, guys. That's key. She doesn't get to play victim card anymore. She makes big bucks in the nonprofit sector. She makes big bucks in the legislature. She's probably, I'm guessing,
she's not making big bucks in the legislature, brother. She's just, that's not quite true.
Right? What do we look at?
They make like 64,000 a year.
Okay. I think that's pretty good for what? How long are they in session for?
Part time.
I mean, you know, they're not going to get rich, but it gives her influence. And I would guess that, like Michelle Caldier, who I'm not knocking by this statement, but I just mentioned Michelle because I know she got a good amount of money from the dental lobby.
But that doesn't go in her pocket.
No, it advances her career legislatively, which then opens the doors to give other opportunities to other things. Like Tara has gone and done speaking engagements, and Tara has traveled to talk in places. Those are paid gigs, man. You know, so she's making money off of this, which is fine. I've got no issue with that. Make your money and support your life and support your family and take care of that cute little dog. But have some integrity. Own when you're wrong. And Tara won't do that. Everything, she's a victim. And she's not a victim anymore. She has resurrected her existence into something that 99.9% of other felons will never have. She should be grateful. But that's okay. You guys can talk. I'm talking a lot. I'm just so frustrated by the whole thing. T says my representative works year round. What the heck are you talking about? Yeah, but they're not paid to work year round. They're paid to work because they're expected to have a second job. Yeah. They're expected to have a main job and do that.
That was the reason, right? That was the reason our legislature got set up the way they would. So they'd be part-time legislators. That's the entire part, or the entire reason. But of course, to some degree, they're working, year round. As a small business owner, it's not like I only work Monday through Friday. So I mean, if you're going to make a difference and you're not going into Tom's laughing because he knows it's true. You're right. If you're not going into politics, if you're honest, to get rich, you're doing it to make a difference in your community. That's the only reason to do it, unless you're Eddie Murphy making a movie back in the late 80s, right?
Do you believe
vote Jeff Johnson, the name you know? What?
Do you believe that's still true?
No,
not that's the way it should be done.
On the state level, yes, I believe that's true. Not on a national level. I think we've all seen far too much of the corruption at the national level from both sides. We see them there's too much grifting all over the damn place from those folks, which is why character is such a massive issue. Look, I am frequently critical of our 6th district representative. Why? Because she's only ever out espousing one line. And while at the same time, she always quotes, I'm here to represent all the voters of the 6th district, which is an abject lie.
Yes.
It is complete baloney. She only represents people that toe her line, talk her talk, that think and feel the way she does. She made a comment about how she had her district, she represents 16,000 military personnel. Bullshit. You represent 100,000 DOD and veterans also. Right? Like you can't leave out that extent of the population and expect people to take you serious. You live in a state where as a former state representative, that every illegal immigrant giving a driver's license gets registered to vote. You know it. So don't come out and tell us none of them vote. I don't need to hear you say, well, only 1,416 of them voted, because no matter what number you give me, I'm going to assume it's a lie because you don't know, just like the rest of us don't know, right? So don't pretend it's not an issue. Fucking address it. Address it. This isn't, I mean, maybe for her, maybe it's a pants-it. But she does seem to wear dresses on occasion, and they're very unflattering. She should really work for something that doesn't show off the belly.
Okay.
Why did you just say pants set? And I heard pants it, and then I was like, oh, that sounds really good with some lumpia.
Yeah, well, because if the suit fits, wear it.
I have some respect for Emily Randall only in the fact that she's consistent. You know what I mean? Like I can
consistently full of shit. Yeah.
Well, again, consistent about what is important to her and what she speaks on. You know what I mean? Like I have respect for that in the sense that I know what I get from Emily Randall. I don't like it, But
well, you're the
I
enemy.
like-
You're the most violent person in America. Just remember that. That's her.
No, because I'm
that's
Native
her
American,
words.
man. I'm not.
Bullshit.
I'm not a white guy.
You
You're
don't
the
get
white
to
guy.
pick and choose.
Nor do I. Yes, I do. I get to identify
No,
as
you
whatever
don't.
I want to.
No, you
and
don't.
I'm
Yeah, it's
registered
whatever
with a
you
Native
want
American
to.
Indian tribe. Therefore, I'm not a white
Yeah.
guy. Paul, you're the
Yeah.
part of the problem. And stop telling me how
yeah.
I should identify myself. Who gave you that right? How dare you?
Okay. No, that's
misrace me?
listen. That's a fair question. I will tell you who gave me that right. You know who gave me that right, Kevin?
Who did?
I gave me that right.
That's right.
And
I
you
keep getting
don't have the
misgendered
right
in
to take it away from me.
Are you getting misgendered in the chat?
Not in the chat, like on the posts.
Oh.
And I'm like, did you just misgender me? What the fuck?
Yeah.
The guys talking to, they called her a cunt. No, that was the girl on the show.
Yeah, that's right. Listen, the other thing I want
Beeler's
to
like,
get into.
I'm wearing that badge of honor. You know, we should
Yeah.
get Beeler a T-shirt to wear for the D-Derby that says, I said, put the letter C, a big letter C, and then like 4 space bars.
No, we're
or
not
3
going to do
space
that.
bars.
We're not going to do that. It's a family.
I think it would be
event.
beautiful. Let her own it. She should wear it. Own it. No,
Paul,
you
why
really
don't
shouldn't.
wear it? Why don't you wear it in downtown Belfair and see how it goes?
Because I'd get high fives.
Probably it is Belfair. By the way, do they have
Yeah.
internet in Belfair yet? The last thing I want to say about this is the latest rumor that I'm getting out from some well placed people I know in the 23rd is about they're trying to push Val Torrens out now
Wow.
because she released that letter and there's people talking about how they want to get her out because you can't have a dissenting view in that area. You just can't.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's what makes us
There-
so great is that we all have
Does-
our own opinions
yeah.
and can speak them.
It does. And to me, that's the cancer that is in the north end of this peninsula,
But it
right?
reminds me a
You
lot
have a concerted group of people who have power, and they have power because an uneducated group of people that are very weak-minded and refuse to think for themselves follow that small group of powerful people. I don't mean powerful because they're in elected positions. They're not elected to shit. You know, the Paulsbo for All folks, the indivisible Bainbridge Island folks, those folks are feeding people lines that they know that they want to hear. They're reinforcing their own prejudices and own biases, right? Simply to maintain political control. That's it. It is no other reason. It isn't about truth. It isn't about logic. It isn't about doing or saying what's right. It's simply about keeping control and hurting people that disagree with them, because we've seen that ever since the pride flags went up in Paulsbo, and they deliberately went after to monetarily injure businesses that didn't support that.
Yep.
That is, I think what's going on the 23rd it is a good example of the political divide that we see across really across the country. And
It may
I mean,
be.
both,
You may be right.
I think both parties have their camps like that. You know, I mean, you get in.
Well,
I assure
you're
you
right,
get
Tom.
into, Texas
Look at what
or
we
Florida.
Yes, look at what we just saw come out of Texas, Tom. Right?
Yep.
The judges, the 5 judges or 4 judges, one of them was a Republican, that were trying to buy votes, right, in their election process. So we can't sit here and say it's one side and not the other. Now, I do feel confident in saying that it is much more on one side than the other. But I think a lot of Republicans have gotten, and conservatives have gotten to the point where if you can't beat them, join them.
Well, I think the misbehavior, if you will, amongst conservatives is a little bit more of the like good old boys club, business done on the golf course.
You're right. I agree. You're right.
Not so much corrupt, but it's just
it's backroom dealing, right?
Yeah,
it's backroom dealing.
Kind of crony capitalism. Not really a free market, which is important to me.
Well, and as much as when I choose to support Trump, right? You can't, again, when there's so much smoke, something's burning.
Yeah.
And the degree to with which he's involved his son-in-law in his first term, he involved his son-in-law and his daughter, right? Now, he divested himself from things, but look at the money that he made off of the cryptocurrency or off the Trump cell phones, right? There are things that he's still involved with. Now, on the flip side of that, I don't necessarily begrudge the guy from still making money. Like people like, he doesn't need to make money when he's already a billionaire or however much he's worth. The point being, actually, the more money you make, the higher your expenses are. And most people out there listening can't imagine. they can't imagine the break-even analysis that guy probably has every month. I mean, if he has to generate $30 million a month to keep all of his businesses afloat, how do you expect him to not consistently be looking for revenue streams?
Yeah. And listen, I don't understand this preoccupation with somebody making too much money. Like, I don't care if it's Tom and he's making $8 trillion a year and is putting none of it back into the economy. He's not opening businesses, starting jobs, founding companies into that. I don't care. I just don't care, because there's a level of work requirement for that to happen. Elon Musk is a billionaire.
And risk, right, Kevin? And risk.
Yeah.
Work
and
risk.
And a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of opportunity to fail. And I just don't care. The left wants to demonize these people that have all this money. If you're making money and you're not, now again, how you define hurting people is a whole different conversation. But if you're not hurting people and you're making money because you've designed an electric car that everybody named Tom wants to drive, right, or you've created an alternative to the space shuttle to get people into space, or you've created internet that can be anywhere in the world by satellite, like what?
Why Kevin, listen. Here's how right you are about that. Let's look and analyze for half a second the risk Elon Musk took by saying, I'm going to send people to Mars. And then all of the billions and billions of dollars he had to drop into SpaceX, right? And then people criticized him for becoming the richest man on earth by going public with an IPO. You know, what people, one of the overlooked things is he made 255 multimillionaires that worked for him. We're talking about engineers.
Yeah.
We're talking about people on relatively low ends of the pay scale working for him who've worked for years and years and years for medium wage, right? $100,000, $150,000 a year, that he made multi-millionaires by doing that. Think about the risk that was involved with that for them too, as people. They all took a risk and they said, we're going to stick with this guy.
Sure.
And they financially won in the end.
Yeah. No, and you're not wrong. And it's the reason why we live in the greatest country in the planet is because people took risks.
Yes. Everybody that takes risks, risk versus reward all the time, right? We hear that all the time.
We wouldn't have the railroad. We wouldn't have television. We wouldn't have all of this stuff, right? If someone didn't take a risk and decide they were going to put their ass on a line to do something really, really cool. That's part of what makes us what we are.
Right.
So I don't care who has how much money.
I
mean, I'd like
heard
to do something cool with it and support nonprofits and all that. Like,
yeah,
but who?
I got reminded, Kevin, and I'm curious about Tom and Alicia on this. I heard a great saying. It's not new. It was an old saying, but I was kind of reminded of it this last week. And you know, when it was in regards to this idea of socialism and how the democratic socialists of America were doing in this last election, right? And the phrase, I'm paraphrasing here, and this isn't a quote, people, so don't bash me for it, but the phrase generally said this: we've all been to national and state parks, right? And what do you see? What's a sign you see all the time at those parks? Don't feed the animals. Don't feed the animals. And why does it say don't feed the animals? What's the point?
They'll become dependent.
They'll become dependent. It's such a powerful thought to put it into a political analysis in your brain, right? Well, what if I feed the bears? What are the bears going to keep doing? They're going to keep coming back for an easy meal. They're going to stop hunting. You know, if I feed the coyotes, if I feed the raccoons, you know, what happens when you start giving people all this shit for free? And it is a very simple concept that seems to escape so many people today.
Can I give you an example, Paul? So
Please,
my daughter, we've talked about her, the one that's on the streets, the one that's on fentanyl, the one that's doing all this stuff. Do you know how many free phones she's gotten from the government?
Obama phones?
Yeah, at least 9.
Jeez.
And do you know what happens? And do you know what happens?
What?
She doesn't care, because she knows if she loses it, or it goes missing, or it gets stolen, or whatever happens to it, she can just get another one. Right. And so when you talk about what happens when, you know, we give things to people for free, part of it is, well, I don't even have to worry about it. There's no ownership in it, because I can get another one. No problem. It's no skin off of my butt that somebody else has got to pay for me to replace it. Meanwhile, if I lose my phone, I mean, that's a significant. Even though I've got insurance on, I got to pay $150 to get it replaced.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't do anything. So what does she do? She loses her phone all the time because she just knows she's going to get another free one.
Mm-hmm.
There's no onus of responsibility or accountability.
Right. Yeah. 100%, man. 100%. That's why when I'm talking about politics in this day and age, the biggest comment that I can make to people is vote Democrat, be a liberal. You go right ahead. That does not bother me. But as soon as you start talking about how you're voting for a Democrat Socialist of America kind of candidate, well, we need to talk, because there's some things you need to understand.
Yeah, I really wish that there was a balanced way of doing this.
I really wish there was an easy button that we could just push.
There
is. Let's elect a dictator.
Great idea.
Dictators.
No, I mean, the most balance you can put to it, though, is take out the outside influence, right? So you gotta remove lobbyists. You gotta remove like big pharma influence on politicians. I mean, that's an example, right? But I mean, that lobby power, that's all got to go away. Our politicians have to represent, we the people, not an agenda, not being bought and paid for. I mean, that's the first problem.
Yeah. By the way, we're starting to get voicemails in the voicemail box.
Yeah, we should play some of those.
Well, I can't play them because we don't. I don't have that set up. So what we'll do is I'll download them. We'll have them ready to go. We'll debut a segment next week.
Okay.
Called "These Are the Voicemails We Got" or something like that. We'll play. But I got 3 in there right now. So if you want to leave a voicemail about anything at all, drop it in the 360-347-6792 voicemail box. And we'll play it in next week's show. I'm excited. I hope you guys are like creative and there's some cool voices or people are funny or whatever.
Maybe we'll hear from Tara Simmons about how disgusting we are.
I wish Tara Simmons would call and leave a message. That'd be great. I'll play it.
Yeah.
99% sure I'll play it. I mean, it depends. If it's just a 10-minute audio clip of her petting her dog, I'm not going to play it. Tony said Kennedy Democrats need to take back control of the party. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think we need a little more moderate Democrat. By the way, CNN's even grabbing onto that. Paul, they were reporting this week on Wednesday about the results of the Tuesday primary, and they basically said, look at these far left folks that are winning in the primaries. That is good for them and bad for the party nationally. And I thought, wow, CNN stopped drinking the Kool-Aid? That's amazing.
Well, they're just continuing to support the Democratic Party, right? And CNN definitely recognizes the fact that the DSA is a serious issue because it's pushing the Democratic Party further to the left. You heard what Bill Maher said. He's not wrong.
Yeah. Tegan asked in the chat who left the voicemail messages. I don't know. I just only got 3 of them in there. I don't know. We'll have them next week. I'll have them ready to go next week. It'll be fun.
Right on.
All right.
Well, hopefully they'll be a little bit relevant.
Yeah, for real.
Andrew Kennedy. Kevin would watch me pet my dog. He's sick, but he pays good. What? Kevin Nelson said maybe Ace Haynes will call and leave a message. God, we could only be so lucky.
I don't know that Ace Haynes knows how to use a telephone.
No, you know what's great is I was talking with our good friend Rick Eckert, and Rick just said how much he misses his quality time with Ace. The quiet fall night walks on the Paulsville waterfront. When they could park in that parking lot for free. They could walk over to Sly's Bakery and split a cinnamon roll together. It reminds me of like that 70s show with the intro, people let me tell you about my best friend. I could just see them as like a sitcom best friend couple skipping down Paulsbo's Main Street together.
Wow, you were pouring it on thick, brother.
That'd be so good.
You do know Rick's listening right now.
Is he? I don't know. I haven't seen him in the room at all.
I'm pretty sure I think I just got
well, if he's there, I love Rick. I just I know Rick really misses his quality Ace Haynes time. I don't know how long. I don't know where Ace is. It's possible he's been civilly committed. I don't have any idea.
I was going to say he might be in jail. I don't know.
One of these days, Rick's just going to snap.
For real.
King of
I think
Shiva
Rick.
said when
I think Rick is entirely too well controlled of an individual. His military time, time in the military, has really allowed him to hone his self-control.
I agree, but I mean, even those people, you can only push their buttons so many times.
Well, we keep warning Kevin about that, but he don't listen. And listen, I by the way, in case you guys didn't know, Rick volunteers for the VFW, and he was down taking tickets at the last D-Derby race. So I think that's really cool. I wanted to give him a shout out for that.
Yeah.
Well, Rick's good, dude. I love Rick, and really, all I want is Rick's happiness. You know what I mean? That's really all I want.
Rick, with Ace Haynes, is that what you're saying?
So I wish that his bestie would come back around. And
Kevin, you're such a schmuck.
They could spend time together.
Such a schmuck.
I'm envisioning Rick and Ace at like an Italian restaurant in Paul's boat.
You better. It's time to stop, Kevin. It's time to stop. It's time to stop. Time to stop, dude.
Oh God, I love you, Rick.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I love you, Rick.
I don't think Rick's on. Otherwise, he would have been commenting by now.
Or he would have sent me hate mail. Hey, guess where I was at last night? As we're coming close to the end of the hour, I don't want to open a new topic. Can I tell you guys where I was at last night?
Where were you?
I was at the Mariner game last night.
Oh, nice.
Last night they unveiled the 50 greatest Mariners, and like 46 of them were there, something like that.
That's so rad.
2 of them were dead. One of them is Luis Castillo, who's pitching for the White Sox, so he couldn't be there.
Yeah.
And one of them was Kyle Seager, who didn't show up because he was coaching his son's Little League team at the Little League World Series.
Cool.
But how cool is that?
That was great. He caught a lot of crap for not being there until people realized why he wasn't there.
Why he wasn't, Hey, listen, did they rank them in order?
No.
Okay. Okay, so it was just a group of 50. Okay, gotcha.
Group of 50. And by the way, we know who the top 4 are, right?
Griffey, Ichiro, Randy, and Tino. Or
Tino.
Edgar.
Edgar, yeah. Because those are the only 4 whose numbers are retired. So it was the 4 of them, and there was a lot of current Mariners on that list, which I thought was
Tino Martinez on the list?
No.
Really?
My buddy Dan and I went, and we were both shocked that Tino didn't make it. We were both shocked that Diaz, the closer we used to have, who was amazing, didn't make it, but Munoz did. I'm not.
What
sure
about Suzuki, the closer?
Sasaki, you mean Kazuhiro Sasaki?
Yeah.
Yep, he made it. Yeah. So if you get a chance, go Google it. It's a really good read about who all the top 50 were. They had Rupert Jones from the first couple of years in the Mariners was there. They had
I since you brought that up, I was telling my other half and her father and family members that were around. I had just listened to this interview that Reynolds is Alvin. The second baseman, Harold Reynolds. Thank you.
Or Alvin Davis. He was the first baseman.
No, it was Harold Reynolds, and he was talking about one of the most annoying guys in baseball. Can you imagine? Can you take a wild guess who he said the most annoying guy in baseball was? Played for the Mariners too for 1 year. Ricky Henderson, and he said he was the most annoying guy. Part of it was because he was good, but mostly it was because of how he spoke. He spoke in the third person all the time about himself. He said he'd be standing on first base taking a lead off, Randy Johnson to be pitching. He'd be like, Randy, Ricky gonna steal. Ricky gonna steal. Ricky's gonna steal, right? And he would keep saying that, right? And then, pitch out, whatever. He goes, boom, and then Ricky steals. He goes, I told you, Ricky gonna steal. And he goes, then when Ricky retired, he the last year he was in, he won the stolen base title. And he had like 55 stolen bases for the year. Well, the very next year, Harold Reynolds won it with 32. And so Ricky Henderson called him up. He said, Harold, yeah? Ricky says, you suck. You only had 32 stolen bases and you won the title. You ain't nothing compared to Ricky. I was just like, dude, could you imagine a guy that really spoke that way? And then I remembered you're my co-host.
I don't speak about myself in the third person.
No, you don't. But man, are you full of yourself?
I totally could speak about myself in the third person. Maybe I should start doing that.
Paul, sorry, Alicia. I'm not trying to give him any ideas.
All the time, and you're going to get sick of Kevin talking about himself in the third person. Yeah. But Kevin is the reigning and defending Outlaw Invitational champion. So there's that.
You two will listen to me, Alicia. Tom, you guys will listen to me this year when I come up with a plan to take him out. You're going to listen to me this year.
And when I still win.
We got to stop that, okay? We got to stop that. And the worst part is if he knows we're coming to take him out and he still somehow manages to, win because he cheats or something, it'll be worse. Yeah.
How am I going to cheat,
worse.
Paul? There is no up, down, down, left,
you'll
right,
let the
left,
air
right,
out of
B,
tires,
select
man.
car
I know
in
you.
a
I know
derby
you.
car.
The derby's like it's like your dating life.
Give everybody
You're gonna
else
let
shitty
them.
cars again like last year.
I didn't pick anybody's cars last year.
Yes, he did. He went through and handpicked the car first.
Wait a minute, you're giving me way too much credit, sweetheart. You think I can tell what a good car is? You are out of your mind.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, we've all seen his Dayglow shit green Jeep.
You and your Dayglow orange wannabe Mustang. What the hell are you talking about?
You can kiss my ass. That's got a blown motor. It doesn't count anymore.
All right. Sam is in the chat. Hello, midget. He said you all getting old. I want to congratulate my buddy Sam on the new job he just got. He's going to go work for that midget wrestling group that travels all over the country.
Oh my God, that's messed up, dude.
Congratulations, Sam. Look,
Sam's
Sam.
short. He's not that short.
That's great, man.
He comes up to what? Your breasts, Kevin? He comes up to your breasts, right?
His forehead's right at my belly button. Don't ask me how I know. Okay, so we're gonna take a break a couple minutes early since it just
Kevin, that conversation about Sam made Kevin think about his friends Neil and Bob.
Oh wow. Okay,
Lori, wherever you are, please come back to the show.
This is what happens when Lori's not here. Yeah, Lori's gone.
She checked into the chat here. I said hi, but
I'm missing a lot of comments, and I haven't seen Rick in there. I haven't seen Lori in there.
Do you have all the chats combined as one on your screen, Kevin?
Yeah, I have
YouTube,
Facebook
Rumble, and
YouTube.
Facebook.
Oh, not
Okay.
Rumble.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody leaves comments on Rumble. I guess we should find out, huh?
Yeah,
what
there's
is that
lots
gonna
of
be?
comments on Rumble.
Are there? Are you watching
Yes.
on Rumble?
Not right now, but when I rewatched you like how his voice goes up 3 or 4 octaves, Alicia, when he's trying to make a point. No, but when I rewatch the show, Rumble's the best platform to rewatch it on because it doesn't interrupt it with ads and shit.
Are you looking in Rumble? Can you get
No,
in
when
Rumble
I
on your phone? I don't have the password.
I rewatch every
Can
show.
we do this on break and just take our break now? Thanks.
What's the matter, Alicia? You got to shake a dew off of Lily that bad? You can get up and
Hold on, can I
leave.
ask
You do it all
guys-
the time.
Can I ask you guys a very important question? Kevin Nelson just asked a really important question in chat. He said, didn't K-Dog win a derby race last year? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. All right, we'll take a break. We come back.
Yeah, Rick Nelson banned by Mitch in the morning.
Fantasy football. And how I can never get any of the Outlaws to play fantasy football with me either. You know why? Because they know I'll kick their ass. All right.
Dude,
we'll
I
take a
don't
break.
even buy lottery tickets. Don't give me no shit about fantasy football.
But I'm a real fan.
You know what? The most gambling I do is sitting and having fun with Amber, watching over her shoulder when she plays the slot machines. That's the closest I get to gambling.
I don't know, man. You've been married twice and you're going for a third one. That's a pretty big gamble.
Wow, dude, that earned you a taco, Kevin.
That's right. I'll be getting married soon too. So there we go. Outlaw Radio Network. We'll take a break. Everybody's just going to ignore that I said that. Perfect. Thank you. We'll be back after
Just
this.
to remind everyone, if you're married to your spouse for 10 years or more, you can claim half their Social Security.
Can you really?
Yeah, but it doesn't come out of their pocket. You just get half the amount they get.
What?
Yes. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I'm
If I get
taking
married
Social Security.
and I'm on it for well, you got to marry
10
Amber
years
first.
No, that's not what I'm talking about, brother.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right.
We'll have
We're
that
gonna
conversation
break.
off air.
We'll
Yeah.
come back after this. This is Outlaw Radio. Stick around. More of the show after
Kevin's a
this.
virgin.
Paul, I swear to God.
What?
I hope you die in a fire. We're back after
That was a
this.
pro non-promiscuity
Outlaw Radio. I'm
comment.
not taking it back, Beeler. Shut up. Back after this.
On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network.
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes I have to mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplain is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. Mansplainers.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance. Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Rain Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Rain Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Rain Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional. On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network,
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of Paul,
I have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplain is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplained.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network, Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10.
The older people, I know you're getting a little edgy right now, but you better get into me because I don't want to bum you out, but I'm the future of America.
This is the Outlaw Radio Network.
Good evening, my fellow citizens.
It's kind of stony, huh?
It's a real thing. A radio signal from another world.
The United States government presents
The Outlaw Radio Network. Outlaw Radio Network.
To provide guidance to mankind.
All right, Outlaw Radio. Turn all the microphones on. Well, we'll turn Tom's on. We'll turn Paul's on. Bailey's not back yet. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Kevin.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Hi, Paul.
I was just observing that Sunday nights during the broadcast, this is the most still I sit all week.
Yeah.
Man, during a break, I get up and my muscles are just tight and tense, and I don't sit still well.
Hi, Paul. Are you there? Paul, you're muted, Paul.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
I'm here.
There you are. Hi, Amber.
And she's letting the dog in.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Kevin, you're still there.
But, Paul, who let the
No,
dogs
these
out?
ones are loud enough. I can hear them
I
without
did.
having them on my head.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you can hear Paul and all
Who let the
that.
I
dogs out?
can, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I could hear them from all the way over there.
All right, a couple of comments from the chat. Thanks for checking out the
Yes.
show, guys. By the way, if you like the show, please share the show. Be a friend, tell a friend. If you hate the show, act like you're in the 23rd. Did you just
Act like
snort?
you're Paul's Bow for all.
Smart.
J. Andrew Kennedy said that he would play Paul's slot machine. Wow. Okay.
I wouldn't even want to know
If
what
he's
that
not
means.
playing ball for the other team, I don't know what he's doing, man.
Tawny said that she proposed fantasy government in her group tonight. I don't know how that would work, but that
I don't know either, but that might be kind of fun. Yeah.
Can we? Is there a way to, Tawny? If there's rules to that, will you send it to me? We'll make it a segment on the show. Let's see.
We kind of do that with our election prediction night.
We do. That's true. We are doing election coverage on election night, right, Tom?
Yeah.
And we'll be able to set up in your shop down here.
Oh yeah.
What
Who
time
do
you
we
close on?
have?
I'm sorry.
I think we should just end the show early tonight, and all of us should go home and go to bed early.
We're
no.
We're closed on Tuesdays.
Oh, you're closed
All
on
of us-
Tuesdays.
Yeah, so
All of
we're
us
not
should-
interrupting anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we have
Monday,
anybody
Tuesdays
set
are
up
weekend.
yet tonight to come in for election night coverage?
No, it's too far out. I mean, it's we got.
I
3
didn't
minutes.
know you, dude. You always invite some of the weirdest people, so I never know who you invite and don't invite.
Well, I'd like to officially invite Tara Simmons to come be on our election night coverage. I think that'd be great.
Really?
Tara, we give you an open platform. We'll give you a microphone. You can say whatever you want to, talk all you want to, share the results. When the numbers come in, you can celebrate or give your concession speech or whatever you have to do. We would like to officially invite Tara to
That's like
join us on the show.
that's like
And
asking
hold on.
Jesus Christ Superstar to come to a Halloween party.
hold on. In fairness, I'm also going to invite Daria to come be on the show on election night. That
Yeah,
way we
yeah.
can say we've invited both sides of the same race to come be on the show. So Tara, you're invited. Daria Elgin, you're invited as well. And you guys are more than welcome to come in and join us. And
Aren't they both going to be hosting election night parties?
Fun whiskey.
That's right. What's that, Paul?
I said, aren't they both going to be hosting election night parties?
No, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
I'm not inviting either one of them with the thought that they're going to be able to come, but I'm just going to, Sam wants to talk about the fact that he thinks he won my fantasy football league last year. I'm sorry, Sam. This is a political talk show, not reliving your childhood dreams of being good
Based
at
on
football.
Kevin's response, Sam, congratulations. It sounds like you did win.
I don't remember if he did or not. I just know I
Of course you don't.
I know
I've
that I
played you and
lost.
I've beat your ass at Madden football so many times, and you have a hard time acknowledging it. If it wasn't for Lori being at the one 2 years ago, you never would have acknowledged it anyway, because you literally turned the game off.
You guys.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking
Alicia,
about.
we're going to have a talk about radio show decorum.
Yes. Yes, we are. Hey, listen, I'm going to bring up a subject that I don't think any of you are going to want to talk about on its face until I explain why.
About how it's weird that Democrats in the LGBTQ community won't accept pedophiles?
Well, I think it's weird that Democrats in the LGBT community support Palestine and Iran. That's weird to me. I mean, in that culture, they throw you off the top of a building. No, I wanted to talk about the WNBA because there's two interesting things
That's a
going
good
on
topic.
in the WNBA.
Yeah.
Have you guys been following this at all?
I have a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I have not heard.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to talk about is two former NBA players.
NBA or WNBA?
No, NBA. Two former male NBA players, Enes Kanter-Freedom and Royce White. They came out in the last couple of days, and they have announced that if they identify as a woman, they're allowed to announce for the WNBA draft to be drafted and play for the WNBA. And so they have announced that they are now identifying as women, and they are announcing their eligibility for the 2027 WNBA draft. Now, don't mistake this for what it's not. They really don't want to play in the WNBA. This is not about them trying to collect paychecks in the WNBA. This is about them showing how completely ridiculous the argument of men in women's sports is.
Yes.
I absolutely love it because now the WNBA is put in a crappy spot. They either have to come out and say, okay, fine, you're in, or okay, we don't want biological males in our league. Like they now have to pick a dog in this fight.
Right.
I think it's
wonderful. It's brilliant.
Absolutely fabulous.
I'll be curious to see how it unfolds. Now as I see this headline, I'll pay more attention.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to lead to court. I think it's going to lead to legal challenges, one way or the other.
Do you think they would, like, if they were offered a spot in the draft? Do you think they would actually take it?
I think they would in order to follow through on their point.
On what they're trying to prove, yeah, they're trying to make a point, yeah.
Well, I'm obviously, but I'm curious if you think they would actually follow through.
Oh yeah, I think they would. I mean, they're not playing in the NBA anymore,
right?
So I think they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. They're both NBA players, and Enes Kanter made a good chunk of money in the NBA. So I don't think he's running low on funds unless he's mismanaged his money.
Well, and listen, let's not pretend that it's an original idea either, because there was a movie about it.
Oh yeah,
Joanna Man.
Yeah, well,
there's been lots of movies where they've transgendered to do something, like go to college, turn themselves black. Do you remember that one? He took those pills.
Oh yeah, that killed C. Thomas Howell's movie career.
Yeah. Well, and listen, and you see it in music too. I mean, Jason Aldean. But listen, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. Again, I just want to be clear about a couple things. I have no issue with transgenders. I really don't. Y'all do what you want to do, live your life, be who you are. People want to say you're mentally ill. That's not my call to make. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not going to make that call. If you identify as a different gender than what you were born with, like, this is America, you be you, boo. But I'm completely 100% opposed to men and women's sports, especially when you consider that Enes Kanter is like 7 foot tall, 6'10", 7 something. He's huge, and he's got 50 to 60 pounds of weight on women playing the same position. Can you imagine what he would do to them under the post?
Well, that would depend on if they move the throat punch down south of the equator.
Well, he might be singing soprano. So there's that. The other thing about the WNBA, then we can talk about all of it. Did you guys see? Okay, so let's back up. When Sophie Cunningham and the Indiana Fever came to Seattle, you guys thought about all that, right?
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm not a huge basketball fan.
I'm glad you. I'm not a WNBA fan.
I don't watch the NBA either. Really,
I don't either. I used to love it until they left Seattle. I do believe the WNBA a couple of years ago was a better form of basketball than the NBA. Like the WNBA was much better at defense, passing, running plays,
more technical,
much better game to watch. It's not right now.
When I've watched, when I've sat down to watch a basketball game, I've noticed the same thing. That's like women's soccer. I think women's soccer is so much better than men's soccer.
Not a sport.
I'm there with you, Tom. I'm there with you.
Why is it not a sport? They're all athletes. They're all playing a game. It is a sport.
Just because somebody's an athlete doesn't mean it's a sport.
It's a sport.
Okay, professional wrestlers are athletes, but that's not a sport.
Because they're actors.
Running around.
Soccer has been around a long fucking time, dude.
Yeah, so has masturbation, not a sport. It's the fact of the matter is when you run around for an hour.
No, Kevin, put your forearm up in front of the camera and twist.
You run around for an hour. You maybe score a goal. A lot of their games end in ties. People barely get touched and fall on the ground like they broke a leg. Soccer's not a sport. It's an activity that athletes play.
Is hockey a sport?
Yes.
Okay, soccer and hockey are basically the same.
No, they're not. On hockey, you're on skates.
You actually
you're
bleed.
much faster. They encourage contact.
Yes.
And violence.
Yeah, it's not even remotely the same as soccer. Soccer's like tiddlywinks.
I'm talking about the function of the game. I mean, yes, hockey.
There's a lot of acting involved.
Way more. Yeah. No, I'm just talking about the actual function of the game, moving the puck. I mean, the ball. I mean,
yeah,
Kevin. I think Kevin needs to take his prejudices and biases against soccer or football and just kind of put them away in a little cubby hole somewhere. You look so petty when you go on this diatribe against football or soccer or whatever you want to call it.
Okay. I'm not petty. I'm giving you an opinion like I've always committed to do on this show. You don't have to agree with it. I'm just telling you it's my opinion.
Yes. Would you be? I mean, petty. I can change the word petty. How about Daddy?
If you remember when Down South Don was here,
Daddy K-Dog.
Shut up, Paul. I hate you. When Down South Don.
For those that are listening to this show, if I can give you one piece of advice, just refer to Kevin as Daddy. Trust me, folks. Just call Kevin Daddy.
She challenged me to a soccer match. You remember that? And I took her up on it, and then she never followed through. And then she moved to Texas to get out of it. So I don't know what to tell you. The athletes play soccer for sure, but it's not a sport.
You had challenged me to a wrestling match and then came up with a mysterious calf injury, Calfzilla.
Do you think wrestling's a sport?
No.
Okay.
No, wrestling's
no, I don't think
but they're athletes. Yeah. But they are athletic.
But professional wrestling's not a sport.
Okay.
No, but they are athletes. Stuntmen are athletes, but it doesn't make the stunts they do a sport. You know what I mean? Like it's not. No, too many. My main hate for soccer is ties, and the fact I think their field's too big.
They act a lot.
They act a lot.
Yeah.
And the French are good at it. And if the French are good at it, it's awful.
Well, the French are just a bunch of whiny bitches anyways.
Yes, they are. Thank you for agreeing with me. Okay, hold on. I'm fixing something so I can pull something up. Anyway, we were talking a minute ago about what happened with Sophie Cunningham and the Fever when they came to Seattle.
Oh, okay.
So there were two young girls that came, and they were carrying signs in support of Sophie Cunningham. Now, Sophie Cunningham was a pretty outspoken player on the Indiana Fever, and she's been very vocal about the fact that she does not think that men should be women's sports.
Well, she's also, you can't leave out the other half of that. And the reason she's drawing so much hate is because she's an ardent defender of Caitlin Clark's.
Well, she is, but she also came out and said I don't want men and women's sports. I have nothing but love for trans people. This is not about that. This is about having biological males in women's sports. And there were 2 young girls. I don't know how young they were, but I'm going to guess in the age range of 11-ish.
Okay.
That came to a Seattle Storm game at the Key Arena, or whatever it's called now, Climate Pledge. And they had signs in support of Sophie Cunningham.
Okay.
And one of the minority owners of the Storm saw them and cussed at them and cussed them out. Little girls.
Yep.
The league fined her and suspended her from coming to 5 games.
Okay.
And her tennis shoes sold out though.
Sophie Cunningham's, yeah.
Yeah.
So today or yesterday, Sophie Cunningham was going into the lane. If you watch it, I don't think it's a dirty play, but whatever. She's driving into the lane, and another player on the opposing team checks her hard in the lane, in the paint, right? I mean, checks her hard. So hard that basically was like she clotheslined her in the face.
Oh my God.
And Cunningham goes down. They call a tech 1, which is not automatically ejectable. Then they reviewed it and they made it a tech 2, bounced her out of the game. And she went on social media from the locker room and said, "White privilege."
Are you kidding
No.
me?
The WNBA's got a race problem.
Yeah, they do.
And you know why they have a race problem? It's not because the media is saying there's a race problem, and it's not because the fans are saying there's a race problem.
They're allowing it.
It's because the players are saying there's a race problem.
Yeah.
The treatment of Caitlin Clark has been horrible. She's been beaten up. She's been abused. Sophie Cunningham taking that, and then for the player to go in and cite white privilege. Listen, women's basketball is not a place where anybody should be claiming white privilege, because the vast percentage of players that are playing are African American. So there's obviously a level playing field in that respect. And if 2 really good players are hated because they're white, you got a race problem.
Yes.
The same way you'd have a race problem if 2 really good players were hated because they were black. Like you cannot make it any different. And don't tell me that Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham are somehow privileged because they're white. They're not in the WNBA. There's no inherent advantage to them being in the WA because they're white. I mean, there has to be a ton of friction in the locker room and on the courts. Security had to come separate Sophie Cunningham and the other player last night. Not players, not coaches, not staff. Arena security had to jump in and help separate them. There's a problem. And this issue is going to blow up. I used to believe, Paul, I've said it on the show a lot when you and I were doing it on our own, that I thought that race really wasn't an issue in this country anymore, that I thought it was more about class warfare. I thought it was more about those who have and those who don't have.
Right.
But in the WNBA, that's not right. It is a race issue. And the WNBA is not even watchable now because there's so much dirty hits and retribution and just gross play and hard fouls for no reason. It's
because you said it. It's a race issue, and I'm paraphrasing here, but effectively, some of the African American players said it's an African American woman's sport. And they've been very open about that. That's why they don't like Caitlin Clark, because she's taken over the league with just flat out skills, right?
Wait, say that again?
You've had some WNBA players come out and talk about how it's an African-American woman's sport.
Mm-hmm.
And so that just solidifies your point.
Yeah. Listen, it's no different than when golf was a white sport or when NASCAR was a white sport. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not advocating for anything like that on either side. When race becomes the conversation of your sport, you have a problem.
Yeah.
You know, they just got a new deal. They just got a new contract signed.
Revenue sharing deal.
Yeah. Everybody
television
got big pay raises because of it. They got good television contracts. The league is growing, and now it's not. Their leadership is bereft. And now race is what people are talking about rather than outstanding play. Angel Reese is probably one of the best women's basketball players I've ever seen in my life.
But it will be marred by her racist comments.
She has a horrible attitude, but she's phenomenal. Yep. But we're not.
Did you guys see her interview after her punch to Caitlin Clark's neck or her eye? I'm sorry. And she says, "Oh, I just misjudged like you shoved your nail in her eye, like, and when you see it, it's blatantly apparent. And then she laughed about it. Her and another player laughed about it. You know, it just goes to, you know, solidify your point, Kevin. As much as I hate to solidify any point you make. But.
Lilat says player gets checked hard, tech 1 fail fair, making it a tech 2 after review. That's the white privilege, because if this player checked a black player, it would have never been a tech 2. Lilat, I don't think
you can't say that.
Yeah, I don't
you
think
can't say that.
There's no comparative narrative evidence for us to compare 1 to 2. We'd have to look at the same ref and the same situation and the same type of play and the same type of foul and all of that. We'd have to consider all of that. You might be right, but there's not enough empirical evidence for us to know that that's true.
So you brought up a good point, Kevin. You just said she might be right, and that's fair. But again, there's no you cannot compare. There's never 2 fouls that are exactly the same. And the problem is when you say you might be right, your gut tells you that's baloney, right? And I understand saying you might be right, but I'm saying to you, you're only saying that because in a sense you're trying to play both sides of the fence here. You know it's not right. And that's part of the problem that we're running into today, right? Somebody will say, well, it's white privilege because, and it's like proving an improvable thing, right? It's not okay to keep saying that. If people keep saying that, we keep letting them get away with it. If we let Lilat get away with saying it was white privilege with zero proof to support that, right? It just becomes a more prominent narrative.
Yeah.
And it's just not true.
Yeah. Lilat said, I need to add the second part, which is that's why the player stated white privilege, because the player felt that, maybe not necessarily Lilat. But
okay, and that's okay. She's right about that. The player may have felt that, but if the player felt that, that's only because of a how do I even word this? Because she's programmed to think that. That's a narrative that's being put out into the world, you know, by people who just, again, listen, first of all, white women in the WNBA are an endangered species. Let's be straight. Okay. And so you can't say that, and I don't know what the percentage is, but it's probably less than 20% of the players in the WNBA, I'm sure somebody can look it up, are white.
I'm going to look it up right now.
And so, and by the way, what color, if you want to go the race route, what color was the ref? I don't know. I didn't see the play. Can you look that up?
I don't.
Can anybody find out what color the ref was? It shouldn't matter, but that goes to the point, right? It goes to the point. Like, I've been very open. I do not believe white privilege is a thing. I think that that's something that people that feel they've been wronged, whether they're right for it or not. If anything, I would say that a person of color using the statement, that's white privilege, is somebody who's racist.
So WNBA players, the percentage of them that are non-white, so that would be African-American, Spanish, whatever, are 83%. So 17%, according to ResearchGate.
Okay, so that's pretty close. I said less than 20%. Yeah.
Margie said in the chat that Caitlin Clark is not a woman. Stop that.
Caitlin Clark is a woman.
Can we just?
She's got a boyfriend. She's a woman. Yeah.
But can we just stop with that? Let's stop trying to assign gender just because it fits some kind of a narrative. Oh, they must be a man because they're good in the WNBA. Like, Brittany Griner is not a man. Brittany Griner is a woman that has some physical changes, defects, whatever you want to call them.
Well, no, she's all woman. She's just masculine, right? She works out. She hits the weights. I would never suggest that she wasn't a woman.
Yeah, but people have, and like I think it's gross. Like,
and that's unfortunate. Like Michelle Obama, yeah.
Michelle Obama is a woman.
It's classless to say that stuff. Yeah.
Sorry, Lilat. If I said he, I apologize. I don't know why I keep doing that with you, and I swear to God, it's not intentional. I do feel bad when I do it. I don't
just to point out, I've never done that to.
No,
Lilat.
Paul doesn't do that. Paul's really good about that. But I didn't. If I did misgender you, Lilat, I apologize. I have to take one thing back. I think there is an advantage to being white in the WNBA because there are so few of them that if there's a really good white player in the WNBA, they become more marketable. You know what I mean? Like, there are better players in the WNBA than Caitlin Clark. but she's the most marketable because she can be marketed to a wider audience because she's white. I mean, I think.
Okay, hold on. No. Caitlin Clark is marketable because she's probably the best player in the WNBA by far.
Not. She's
not. Well, I think she is. So, and that ain't because she's white. The girl is just fucking amazing. And I don't know where her stats rank, but that's some of the African American players on her own team have voiced the opinion that the reason why the African American other players in the league do the things that they do to her is because she is white and so good, because they feel that she's taking the emphasis off of them and putting it on her, and she's white.
Yeah. But I mean, would you agree she's more marketable? Yeah. I mean, she's been more marketable for the league.
Let me ask you a question. What makes people marketable in the NBA?
Being likable?
Yeah, being likable.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's. I would disagree with that because you look at players like Dennis Rodman was not likable.
Right, but he's like that other chick that's a bitch.
I just.
The one that
it's reputation.
With her finger.
Yeah, listen, no, you're right. You just said it wrong, in my opinion.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Listen, I'm really comfortable right now. I'm just letting it go.
Hold on. No, it's fine. It's just like with radio, right? What makes a marketable host, Kevin?
Yes.
Kevin, what makes a marketable show host? Was Howard Stern likable? Was Rush Limbaugh likable? Well, some people, of course, did, but it was the personality.
Yeah,
that's what makes somebody marketable.
That's why
Caitlin Clark almost never. Caitlin Clark is the most quiet player in the WNBA. She don't say shit, except on the court, right? Yeah. She's very quiet. Yeah, Sophie Cunningham is very loud. Yes. I mean, she'll get in women's faces, point, and she'll get into a scrap, right? It's the personality. It's the persona that makes a player marketable. That's what leads to what? Deals with Nike and other companies, right?
Yep.
So when you look at these players in the WNBA, a company looks at them and says, do we want that attitude representing us? Does it match our brand? Does it match what we're going for? You know this, you're a marketing expert, right? These are the things that have a company say, I want to pay her to wear our product.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I right? No, you tell me. I'm asking you, Kevin. Am I right? Okay.
I think there's a balance, right? It has to be,
of course,
there has to be something appealing about that person, right?
Of course.
Mike Tyson, to this day, even with everything he did and him raping that girl, for whatever reason, is still kind of marketable.
Marketable.
Like they put him in movies.
They put him in boxing arenas still.
Yeah. I mean, and they make a whole bunch of money off of him. People want to see that. So
he bit a dude's ear off and still got massive marketing deals. You know, bad guys in sports can still get brand deals.
Did you know that Mike Tyson has a cannabis farm?
Does he?
Yes.
Yeah. And
he also has a pigeon. He also has a huge pigeon. He's like big into pigeons. Like
he's a Renaissance dude. He completely redefined himself in some weird ways.
He has a sense of humor too, because he's got a line of edibles at his cannabis farm.
Yeah.
That are shaped like an ear with a bite out of them.
Are you serious? That's funny.
I am totally.
That is
he
funny.
reminds me of that character that.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure where the farm is, but yeah, I've been to shops that have pun intended.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, are you having issues over there with the sound?
No, just for a second, everything froze on me for a second, but it seems to be back now.
Okay. Yeah, we're having some internet issues. I don't know what's going on. Everything is weirding out on our feeds.
Are we running AT&T internet?
Yeah.
Because they had a big outage today.
Did they?
Oh, boo.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a sizable outage. I got a notice on it. I'm running off of Verizon, but I did notice. In fact, I mentioned it to Amber as we were driving down the road. And
I don't know. Paul, Lila just said that Paul looks good now. So
okay. Well, thank you, Lila.
Yeah. Paul, you're an attractive man. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you right now.
That's what Amber keeps telling me, but I don't believe her.
Well, if Amber got glasses, that'd be great.
She's wearing glasses right now, so I'm telling you, her vision is perfect. I am not the Elephant Man. I promise.
You're like if Quasimodo and the Elephant Man had a love child, that would be St. Paul.
Seriously, Quasimodo and the Elephant Man.
Quasimodo and the Elephant Man. You know where I
First
got
of
that?
all, I don't think that would work, Kevin. I don't think it would work.
Hey, really quickly, we'll just clean up a couple quick hits around the world. The situation in Iran is still the situation in Iran. Trump came out earlier and said that he had negotiated a ceasefire agreement with Hamas. I don't know.
And then Israel rejected it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how he's negotiating with Hamas, but we're not really negotiating with Iran because I would kind of feel like they're kind of part and parcel with each other, like one side's going to back the other. But I'm not saying Trump didn't do it. I'm just curious how that works dynamically.
Right.
So, yeah, so Trump said he had a 15-point plan with Hamas that would essentially mean that they would disarm in bands or in steps. And those steps would be met by Israeli troop withdrawal out of Gaza. Netanyahu came out today and said, and I quote, "Bitch, please." He said, "There's no way we're going to pull troops out of Gaza until they're disarmed. We're not going to go in steps. They have to be 100% disarmed before we're going to remove troops out of there."
It's hard to blame him.
No, I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, after October 7th, it's hard to blame the Israelis for that mentality. It really is. I think a lot of people, I know I would love to see peace there. I would love to see a two-state solution. But that's because I believe in humanity.
Mm-hmm. Well, the problem with the two-stage solution is how do you do it? You know, if you go back if you go back and look at a map of Israel and Palestine in 1948, when they became their own separate nations, right? It was not done intelligently. There were pockmarks. It wasn't like the north half was Israel and the bottom half was Palestine. It was like an artwork piece where you had different countries all swiveled all over the place. It was like cherry swirl ice cream, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now if they're going to go in and do that and they're going to do it right, how many people do you have to uproot? Okay. So now you're going to move a whole bunch of Israelis out of Palestinian territory and a whole bunch of Palestinians out of Israeli territory. And you don't think there's not going to be violence on both sides of that as they do it? Like a lot of Israelis are going to be pissed off that they're having to leave the land that their families have been on for generations and vice versa. There's no way to get an equitable, two-party solution out of that's not going to end up in some kind of violence.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how they do it. And on top of that, let's pretend that you give Palestinian their land. Are they suddenly going to decide that they're going to respect Israel's right to survive? Because up until today, they haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to get buy-off, and they're not going to get buy-off. I just can't see any way that, this is the biggest no-win situation in world history that I can think of.
Well, U.S. and Iran is close second.
But Iran's a crap show, but I can't think of another geopolitical mess that is a bigger stalemate and no-win situation for everybody that we've ever seen. I mean, ever seen, besides Israel and Palestine. Because there is no remedy. There's no fixing it. Because Israel doesn't want to dominate the Palestinians and take over all the space and force them to live under their rule.
Mm-hmm.
And the Palestinians can't muster enough power or strength to do what they want to do to get their own land. And they're never going to agree. And the Palestinians are never going to want to allow them to live.
Well, listen, let's be honest. October 7th was a Hail Mary from the 1 yard line by the Palestinians. And it never had a shot of working, right? Let's just be realistic about that. But like you said, man, it is what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody that's logical or reasonable can look at October 7th and be like, geez, man, it was you know, God bless those Hamas folks. I mean, it just, yeah, I don't know. I can't. We beat that to death. No pun intended. I don't even know what to say about it anymore. Listen, and you could talk to, my son is a veteran, right? He's a 6-year veteran, and he looks at it, and while he blames Hamas for October 7th, everything from that point on, he looks at Israel and says, but they're butchering innocent men, women, and children. I don't think there's any easy way to look at that situation. There just isn't. And unfortunately, the Israelis, they've lost the high ground.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
they really have. They've lost the high ground.
Lila made a really good point in the chat. He said Israel cannot be an apartheid state.
She said.
God dang it, man. I'm sorry, Lila. She said, Israel cannot be an apartheid state any further. This is no longer sustainable. And I think she's absolutely correct. Israel.
Good job, Kevin. Good job. You did it that time. Good job.
Israel, because you reminded me, Israel has to get out of the business of occupation.
Yeah, but how do they do that when you've got an entire population on one side of your country that doesn't think you have the right to exist, and they're willing to strap TNT to 12-year-olds and send them running into a group of your citizens?
Paul, I want to know, if they buy you a book, would you read it? I mean, a specific book. She's saying that if she bought you a book, would you be willing to read the book she picks up to you?
I would. Yes, I would. Right. But I preface it with this. My opinion on the topic has been shaped by years and years and years of studying the conflict. But absolutely, because I can always learn more. Everyone can always learn more. Always. Everybody.
Yep. Perfect. Lila, just make sure that the reading level for that book is not over 3rd grade. So Paul,
it's got to have pictures.
Got to have pictures. A pop-up book, preferably.
Yeah.
Little pop-up things that pop
book.
up. And
yeah.
I'm thinking.
I fucking hate you sometimes.
It pops open and shows a terrorist exploding. Like, I'm thinking that.
Jesus
that'd be fabulous. Hooked on phonics, Paul, worked for you.
Worked for me.
Paul, is there anything on your mind you want to talk about that is because I've kind of controlled the whole show tonight, which is not abnormal. I'm genius, but
no, you just listen. We all love you, but you definitely like to hear yourself talk. I don't mean that in a bad way.
Did you like your mic back on? Are you going to quit yawning in it?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'll turn your mic back on.
Are you talking to Beeler? I thought you were talking to me, asking if I wanted my mic back.
Beeler kept yawning in the microphone.
I yawned one time. Get off my back, bitch.
Actually, that's exactly where somebody might like to be. I'm sorry. I take that back. You know what? It's funny. I want people to understand when they listen to this show that we are a close-knit group. We talk every day. Generally over the course of multiple hours about stories, topics, opinions, and thoughts. So when we come into a show, it's there. We may have a sense of humor about things that people don't understand, but there's a ton of inside jokes. We give each other ribbings on the regular. Kevin, in all reality, Kevin probably takes more of those. Kevin takes more shit than anybody else, and it's generally because he has an ego the size of Texas and a penis the size of Rhode Island. So
sorry, I'm glorious. So what can I say?
Yeah, inglorious. Is that what you said?
No, I said sorry, I'm glorious.
Oh, okay.
What can I say?
Okay. But I just think it's important to remind people of that once in a while, because people might hear this, and if they don't have any idea of how close we are in the conversations that we have, we might sound a little bit out there like, what a bunch of fucking dicks, man.
Yeah. And hold on, John Walker asked where Beeler is. There you go. She's laying on the couch, Beeler. Say hi. There she is. She's not in a really, you want to angle that over so we can see her better? There you go.
Be on camera.
Yeah, let's leave her on camera. There you go. Hello, Beeler. There you go. All right, go ahead, Paul.
Okay, yeah, hi. I'm quite comfy right now. Thanks.
You know what? Congrats to you, Beeler. Good for you. You know why? You know why I say good for her? I say good for her because every other time when she gets tired, she just leaves. She's in the middle of a show. She just gets up and leaves. Like, she's like, you know what? I'm out of here. Goodbye. I'm
done.
Ghost. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
She's like,
Beeler
I'm
is
like
laying-
Kevin in his date. I'm going to ghost y'all. I'm seeing you. I'm out of here. I'm later.
Beeler is laying on the casting couch. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Just keep a black light off that son of a bitch. All right.
In Beeler's defense, Kevin, you probably shouldn't have her thing say Dave McMullen PCRP chair.
Shouldn't. I haven't updated the title on that.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to rename that. You guys talk for a second. Go
No,
ahead.
do not rename it anything bad, Kevin. I will beat your ass. I'm not even
Oh
playing.
my God. Kevin, why did you rename it Behind the Green Door? I don't understand that. What does that mean by
Fuck you, Paul. Jeez.
Hey, Paul, what did I name it?
Behind the Green Door?
No, I did not.
Beeler's
Can you see
casting couch.
Beeler's casting couch. There you go.
I hate you.
Okay.
By the way, if you'd like to participate in Beeler's casting couch,
Shut the hell up. That is not an invitation.
For a good time, no, just kidding.
Call Kevin.
Call
I hear
Kevin.
he's good on his knees.
Whoa. Damn. All right.
So are we doing, when does the NFL season start? It starts
Oh my God. I don't even wanna
on
think
the
about
Wednesday, right? It's coming up soon with preseason. No, sorry, regular season starts on a Wednesday. That's Seattle versus that shit team from the East Coast.
Which one?
But the preseason, that would be New England. But the preseason actually starts in a week or two, doesn't it? A week and a half?
Oh, man.
Yeah, a week from yesterday, next Saturday.
Yeah, they just had the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two teams and no Hall of Famers. So the first game of the year is September 9th, which is a Wednesday. So on the Sunday before that, we'll do our weekly football picks for that week. And then on the Sunday before that, which will be August 30th, we will do our preseason picks.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Wow.
So Beeler has about 2.5 weeks to feel safe from NFL picks. Her safe space.
Thanks for giving me
Safe
that heads
space.
up there, buddy. I'm still gonna go with my gut every time, like I do.
You should. Absolutely, you
Okay,
should.
then. Don't make fun of me this season when it's
Nobody's
really
making fun
bad.
of you, Beeler. Nobody's making fun of you.
By the way,
You
can
were
I show
pretty
you guys
close
a-
last year, man. You almost took it all. So you should take some pride in that.
Can I show you guys an awful joke that I saw?
I
think
mean,
I
she come in fourth last year?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
fourth place
yeah.
is respectable.
Out of 4
Out
people.
of 5.
Did you see the video I shared? I think it was a Waffle House or something, but it's like, look, they opened a Waffle House right next to Planned Parenthood because all those
Yes.
women be leaving there with an empty stomach.
Yes.
So bad.
That was so bad. Anyway, well, we've just gone off the road. We haven't had a show like this in a
Yeah,
while.
it's okay. It's okay.
That's because Lori's not here to keep us in check.
Yeah, she's fired.
To keep you in check.
Keep Kevin in check. Yeah. Yeah. So did you guys see, and I'll bring this up because you guys know how in deep I am on this subject. So this week, the federal government really, what?
No, I was
What,
checking
Kevin?
a button for something. I was trying to find the breaking news.
Checking a button. Okay.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
the federal government released their 5th group of UFO disclosure files. And some interesting things. And I will say this, each set of files, it seems as if they are trending a certain direction, right? So in this set of files that they released, a couple of very interesting points came up. Now remember, I pointed out in not the last batch of files, because a lot of that was more data and report oriented, but in the 3rd release, they released footage of a U.S. military aircraft shooting down an object. No additional information, just you see it zipping along and it got shot down, okay? So that was interesting, but it still kind of makes you go, okay, but what happened with that object? Where's the information about that object? So in this file, okay, they released footage of U.S. military personnel on the ground at a base filming straight up. And you see an incredibly huge triangular shaped object block out the stars. In other words, it was completely cloaked. You couldn't see anything. All you could see was the stars get blocked out by this thing, which in a lot of ways is a very telling piece of information, right? Now, if that doesn't pique your interest, this one will. They released information and acknowledged that they recovered bodies.
Wow.
Non-human entities, right? So, you know, so and I get it. Some people still believe, look, I've never seen this. It's hard for me to believe until I see it or experience it or whatever, right? Having put my own video out of something that I saw and experienced, I have a slightly different perspective. And here's the thing: every single perspective is relevant. You know, I have a customer right now. I had a long conversation about this after work with Tom. Happens to know this customer, and he was an E6B Prowler navigator. So this is a guy that's got thousands of hours in the flight seat, and he doesn't believe any of it. He thinks every single video can be explained by other means. No, serious? I'm dead serious. And this is a real, serious guy. He's a good guy. Yeah.
Really quick, I have to read this. It's the best comment of the night. Robert Parker just posted, Alicia Beeler is laying on the casting couch with her pants undone. What did I miss from earlier? I'm just reading you what he said.
What are you talking about, Parker? My pants are buttoned.
That's how much weight she's lost, Parker. That's how much weight she's lost.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure if she's starving herself. I'm convinced she's on a GLP-1.
By the way, don't forget. Eventually, we're gonna have like a locals channel or a Patreon with some paid subscriber content. So then Beeler's really gonna get out of control. But go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry.
So it's okay. I don't know how I come back from that. To be honest,
They're gonna have to subscribe to see that.
Yes,
Kevin.
they will.
Right. So that was the second immutable fact, right? That's like, and here's the thing, like some people, and this is one of the things that Tom and I, this customer that we have interaction with, that he had pointed out to me. He actually had stated that he was very disappointed that U.S. Navy pilots went in front of Congress and testified to this stuff because it kind of moved the needle for him a little bit, right? But he still believes that everything that they're talking about can be explained by rational, normal means. Fair. It's totally fair. Now, the third big part of it that came out was the stuff they're seeing on the moon. And NASA scientists have commented on this. This is the stuff they're seeing with telescopes, right? Because they're able to, listen, this is math, it's not my strong suit, but they're able to calculate the size of these objects that they're seeing on the moon's surface or flying over the moon to some degree. And we have reports of objects that are in excess of 120 miles across, which you might think, wow, that's really big. Except that two of the objects, one was over 1,500 miles across and another one was 2,200 miles across. Now think about that when you compare that to what you saw like in the movie Independence Day. Those were 20-mile wide ships. So just let that sink in for a second. And we're talking about now NASA is corroborating evidence with the federal government, U.S. military personnel, drone footage, eyewitness sightings, and we're not even talking about we affectionately call them the jellyfish UFOs. We're talking about small, we're talking like Volkswagen bus size objects that are flying over the top of military bases at a low level. We're talking less than 100 feet. And one of the pieces of footage we saw, this thing flew over the military base, which had armed personnel, because we're talking about Iraq, which is where these videos were taken. These things were flying over the top of these military bases with humans and dogs, right? So you could see the guys, the handlers, walking their dogs around the base. This thing flew right over the top of them, not seen by anyone, less than 100 feet above the surface. And we're not talking about they zipping across fast. We're talking about 15, 20 miles an hour, going very slow. So the more information that's coming out, each release of information is proving to be more and more consequential. So who knows what the future is going to hold, what they're going to release next. But if this is a subject that interests people, go to ufo.gov, go to the website and check it out for yourself. Draw your own conclusions. But each progressive set of releases is more and more. It's as if it is a slow disclosure, if that makes sense, right? Which is in the community what's being discussed. It is a slow disclosure. So each one kind of gets you ready so that the next one isn't so much of a surprise. Does that make sense? I mean, they've now acknowledged that they recovered
us for it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's yes, because they, like I said, this is the fifth disclosure, and they finally said, yeah, we recovered bodies.
Right.
They didn't say what they look like. They didn't
Why
describe
can't they
them.
drop the Epstein files like this? Fuck.
Well, that's a good question, Alicia.
That's a great
I don't
question,
have an
actually.
answer for that. You would think. Let me since you brought it up, Alicia. I'll ask you
Well,
directly.
Can I shout out to somebody in the chat real quick? Damon said,
Yeah.
Damien said, looking forward to seeing you guys for the show and on the track for this year's Outlaw Invitational sponsored by No Spark Racing. We love you guys at No Spark. Thank you. We're looking forward to the event as well, September 12th.
Yeah, Damien, it's going to be a blast. And listen, and Dave McMullen is going to be out there with us, Damien. And so we want to make sure that this guy that's battling cancer has the best car. Okay, so Damien, help us out with that. Make sure we get the best car for Dave McMullen. He's fighting cancer. We're hoping he's going to get a clean bill of health, but that'll be about a week after the race. So help us out on that, Damien.
Hey, Paul Lila wants to know if the Hail Mary Project is your favorite movie now.
I watched it. In fact, Amber and I just watched it a week and a half ago. Hadn't seen it before that. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really well written. It was a very enjoyable film.
Or Project Hail Mary, yeah. With
Project
Gosling.
Hail Mary.
I can't wait to watch Super Troopers 3.
I refuse
I
to
know,
watch
right?
any Ryan Gosling movie because he's far more attractive than I am. And I just
Ryan
can't handle it.
Gosling's the man.
Yeah,
It's not your fault, Kevin. It's not your
Everyone
fault.
is more attractive than you, Kevin.
I went to bed with my woman. She called me Ryan Gosling in the middle of the night. I didn't know what to say.
Oh, there's no mic on for Beeler right now. Nobody can hear her. How horrible is that? Hold on. Here you go, Beeler. You're back on. All right, Paul, go ahead, buddy. You're going to ask
No, that was
Beeler
it.
a question about the Epstein
About the Epstein files. I'm curious about her opinion. I'm curious about Tom's opinion too, but I'm not sure if he's awake. Okay. It's a very serious question because I think we all kind of acknowledge that in this business, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? How much? Because we still hear, this got brought up earlier, right? About Trump and one of the listeners quote about Republicans supporting pedophiles and that kind of stuff. I am of the opinion from everything that I've read, and I've gone through a lot of that shit, too much, right? I am of the opinion that nothing, because everything that was included in the Epstein files was somebody could have called the FBI and said, I think Trump's a pedophile. That goes into the Epstein files. Right? That all got lumped in together, just accusations, blanket statements, phone calls, tips, reports, all that kind of stuff. Now, on one hand, like I said, we say where there's smoke, there's fire. Having said that, I've literally seen absolutely nothing in the Epstein files to support anything other that Trump turned on Epstein, had him kicked out. He was one of the first people to call the police on Epstein in order to have him initially prosecuted. Right? Because apparently Epstein tried to pick up some young teenage girl at his club and Trump was like, get the fuck out. So now I absolutely acknowledge I could have missed something, but I've seen nothing, zero. It's like all of the smoke is coming from some dickwad with a fucking smoke generator. I see nothing. Tell me, am I right? Am I wrong? What do you guys think?
I haven't seen any of it either, but I also haven't seen all the files because they haven't fucking released them.
True, but don't you think the Democrats would have done that if they had those files, which they did?
Is it even the Democrats holding it up now? Isn't it
Well,
just the DOJ?
Listen, but the DOJ is littered with people that are anti-Trump, and they really were 4 years ago.
Okay, I get there's nothing.
So that's why I'm
in there
asking you.
gonna
That's
help
why I
them
wanted your
against their agenda with Trump. But the Epstein files still need to be released because there's still sick fuckers out there that need to be tried and freaking hung or
held accountable,
tar and feathered.
Yeah, okay.
Or just good old-fashioned hanging in the courtyard.
I would like to know, I mean, if we have leadership in our government that is, sick, I want to know. I don't care what party they're part of. I mean, I don't have an allegiance.
I don't think
to
any of
the
us do.
party.
It's about justice right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, I'm less concerned about, and hear me out before you jump on me, unless you want to jump on me.
I'm never going to jump on you, Kevin.
I'm less concerned about the list coming out as I am concerned about charges being filed against the people where it's appropriate.
Accountability.
I think I think if we never got the list released, because like my fear with them releasing the list is people who are fringy that may or may not be, that are somehow going to be linked into that somehow. Like Tiger Woods was in there somehow. There was a NASCAR driver, and they
Whoopi Goldberg was in there, dude.
Yeah, but it wasn't because they were tied to anything bad or illegal.
Right.
They were just like Russell Wilson bought an airplane from Epstein's estate, or is it right?
Actually, he was shopping.
Yeah.
He didn't even buy
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of people mentioned.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm not as worried about the files themselves coming out publicly as I am about who we can identify from those files that the DOJ should be reviewing, that law enforcement, the FBI, anybody should be reviewing, and that applicable charges follow.
Agreed.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, and
I would be
the public record and
yes, the charges can become public record, and then you handle it that way. But I'm not all for releasing all the files.
And you guys tell me if I'm. Go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
Oh, I was just to say that the evidence from that trial becomes,
public record,
accessible. Yeah,
absolutely. Listen, most Trump supporters that I know, and I wouldn't even look. Do I support him? Yes, he's my president. Am I really frustrated and aggravated with him about a lot of things? Absolutely. I don't have a problem being critical of the president. But here's what I would say. If Donald Trump was legitimately guilty of this stuff, I would have zero problem with him being prosecuted for it. And I think most conservatives that I know are exactly the same way. So it's not just that it's offensive, but it's absolute fucking bullshit, because you got these folks on the left who are like, you maggots are supporting fucking, pedophile. That it could not be further from the truth. It could not be further from the truth, but it's what they've glommed onto, right? A lot the same way that people on the right glommed onto QAnon. Right? Or people that on the left that glommed onto the fact that a cop kneeled on Floyd's back, which killed him, and they ignored the fact that he OD'd on fentanyl. Okay? So there's a lot of misconceptions about a lot of things out there, which goes to your point earlier tonight when you were talking about Hanny, right? Every single person is responsible for themselves and making sure they know the facts and understand the reality behind whatever's going on. And with that, I'm out, bitches.
Lila said, so when they do give him a pass, when he is not releasing the files, he won't release them. Again, I'm a little more understanding. And then Parker just brought up a point I was going to bring up in a second. I'm more understanding of them not releasing the files than I am understanding why we haven't seen charges filed against other people. Like, there has been no significant pushback against the people that we know had to have been doing business with Epstein. Like, there's been no significant pushback. And so if we don't release the files because we're protecting victims' names or information or people who are fringy, then fine. But there should be significant law enforcement activity against the rest of the people that Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein were
I disagree. I disagree, Kevin, and here's why. Because when you start reading those files, and I would challenge Lilat and other people to go through those files and tell me who should be prosecuted for what. Because most of those files are about the business dealings of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, but they weren't, most of their crimes were themselves doing things to underage girls, not bringing in clients that were paying to have other things done, right? Now,
for Bill Gates.
But but it's still innuendo.
Yeah.
There's no single accusation by a woman in the Epstein files that has come out to date, but it hasn't to date, that says I was underage and Bill Gates did X. That doesn't exist. That's not in those files. So this idea that why aren't people being prosecuted? Because when you read the files, there's no distinct, direct accusation against a specific individual for committing an act of impropriety. Because right now it's all guilt by association. Yeah. And that's what we can't fucking have. We are a nation of laws, not men, right? John Adams was very clear. And I believe in that wholeheartedly. We can't be out prosecuting people because they were friends with Epstein or they went to his island without somebody coming out and saying, this person was peddled to me. This girl says I was underage and this person did this to me. Those accusations are few and far between.
Well, listen, the Democratic Party is the wrong people to be throwing eggs at this thing with Trump anyway. I mean, they've ignored completely the fact that Bill Clinton is interwoven into this as much as Trump is.
Well, he is, but by association.
But again, I'm just saying there's no more evidence with Clinton than there is with Trump.
Clinton was on the flight log, though.
Yeah, but again,
But that doesn't mean anything. It just means he was on a flight.
Oh my God!
No, hold on.
They pulled evidence off the island.
But
Yo,
from
you're
proof's sake,
I don't.
Just what we've seen. I see what you're saying.
From proof's sake, we don't know that Clinton did anything illegal or immoral. We just know that he rode on the
That's my
plane to
point.
the island. He could have gone on a plane to the island to pick grapes. I don't know.
Right.
There's as
But
much
maybe he
would
did.
do on a tropical island, pick grapes.
I would.
Well, that would be kind of fun, right? You know, I that's all I'm saying is that when you go through those files, and I don't want to pretend that I've gone through all of them, but I've gone through a lot of them, and the accusations are not there of impropriety. The accusations of association are, right? So, you know, what do we do about that? And that's why, to me, that's why people aren't being prosecuted for this stuff, because there are not direct accusations of wrongdoing by people.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my point about it.
Listen, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that releasing the list to me is, God, Beeler, wake up. Releasing the list to me is fluff. If it's not followed by significant action against the people that should be prosecuted, there has to be a recourse. And the longer we wait for that recourse, the more likely it is the people who did these things are going to die or vanish or disappear Clinton style. You know what I mean? So if releasing the list doesn't further the agenda of holding people accountable, then it's kind of a pointless task. Like Prince Harry has been, for all intents and purposes, verified. He's been ostracized by the royal family. He's been pushed out of all of his positions. Everybody believes he's involved, yet nobody's pressed any charges against him.
Prince Harry?
No, Prince Andrew. Sorry,
Prince Andrew. Okay,
They removed him.
they removed, but nobody's pressed charges against him.
Yeah, that's true.
So he lost access to some of his access and some of his money. Oh, how sad for you, you pedophile! But nobody's prosecuted him.
Yeah, that's true.
This is not a Trump thing. Like, we have to get away from this. This is not a Trump thing. This is a people in power thing. This is a we are world elite thing. This is we hold all the cards in our hands and we can do what we want to. That I've never given credit to this whole there's a worldwide like pedophile cult argument that people talk about. Like, I just don't think that's true. But when shit like this happens, I'm like, well, maybe it is. You know what I mean? Like, the people that, like, this whole elite complex, there's a whole lot more to this than what we know, and they're covering each other's butts. And I think it's bigger than Trump. I think Trump is a cog in a greater, like, global political wheel. The same thing for leaders in every other nation on the planet.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and I don't believe in the who are they, the Bilderbergers? Is that what they're called?
Bilderbergers?
Huh?
Paul knows what I'm talking about, but he left. The Bilderbergers are the whole cabal conspiracy of the group of people that actually run what happens in the world, and they plan the wars and they plan everything out just for moving chess pieces. I don't believe in any of that.
No.
But I do believe that there is some really shadowy, powerful people that are pulling the strings. Way bigger than Trump.
Well, I mean, you've got your elite in any country, but I think there's probably a very small community of, you know, like global elite that
the Bilderbergers, by the way, are financial elites from around the world that meet once a year in order to talk about world economic issues. And the accusation is, the accusation is made that they kind of make some decisions that they shouldn't be making, driving the economies and different economic issues in different directions. That's the easiest way to explain who they are. And they're very real.
But there are people who believe that they have a hand in way more than just the economics. Like they're moving world chess pieces. They're controlling military interventions. They're planning things on major scales because
those claims are made, but there's no evidence. There's no evidence to, you know, they meet clandestinely, they meet secretly, they don't allow media in or anything else, and you have to have a special invite to get in. But you know what? Secrecy always invites speculation, always. Like the Trump stuff, like the Epstein files. And listen, we can sit here all day long and criticize Trump, the Department of Justice, and every other government organization that's had their hands on those Epstein files. But the bottom line is this: we can either be a nation of laws or we can be a nation of accusations. And in this country, accusations are worse than the crime itself, generally speaking, right, Kevin? I mean, you know, you've been on the other end of that. So
Maybe a nation of beds.
It's a nation of what?
Beds.
What'd you say?
She wants to be in a
For
nation of
fuck's
beds.
sakes. I mean, she's
Rick
not
said,
right, but you know.
Rick said that they can't press charges against Andrew because she was 16, which is an adult in the UK. Again, I would push back because if human trafficking was involved, I would still think, regardless of her age, there are
Well, and it happened in the United States, therefore it would be an issue in the United States because they'd have jurisdiction. But then you're talking about, I mean, are you really going to go arrest a member of the royal family from another country?
Yes, you are.
No, not on a sketchy issue. You're going to make sure that it's legitimate 1,000%. I'm just saying that I don't think they have enough evidence to prosecute him for anything. And it gets back to the bottom line, right? When do when does it become about reality versus want? Yes, people want Trump prosecuted for being a pedophile, but is there any evidence to support that? No, it's innuendo.
Yeah.
It's speculation.
I don't think there is any proof.
I don't think there is either.
Listen,
or we know that
this,
Democrats would have brought it up in the last 12 years.
Yeah. And we've said this before, Paul. It would have been front and center in the 2024 presidential election because
100%.
Kamala
Especially with
knew she was going to get her ass handed to in the election. If they had that stuff up their sleeves, they would have busted it out.
They would have. She was at an unfair advantage because she didn't have long to run her campaign.
Exactly.
So they would have brought up everything they could conceivably find, and I wouldn't have blamed them for it.
And they had the media in their back pocket. If they had led with that, the media would have pumped it out all over the place. You would have never been able to get away from it. It's different than if a Republican comes out with stuff and people are questioning it. If she had led with that, they would have ran with it, and he would have gotten killed. So there's no proof. There's a lot of innuendo, a lot of talk, but without proof, it's again, Daryl Dogs.
Yeah.
Right. It's Daryl Dogs. It's let's make all these accusations and throw crap against the wall and pray that it sticks. And then when it doesn't stick, it doesn't get nearly the noise. In this society, you don't have to prove anybody's bad. You just have to give people enough of an accusation for it to never go away.
And what's the perfect example of that? The Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah.
We just take the steps to silence people talking about that, and we're good to go.
Yeah. Listen, once you establish people are bad, whether it's true or not, it never goes away. I have another perfect example that we can wrap up the show, and it's Paul at the Derby. Paul's never won a Derby because Paul's awful, and now Paul will never shake that. And even if Paul did win a Derby, people would still think, well, it's just because it went easy on him because he's never had a title. He's never won anything in his entire life.
That would never happen among this group.
So. I agree with you, but I'm just saying that's what people would say. People have accepted
because I promise you, if anybody besides Kevin wins this Derby, everybody's going to remind Kevin on it every opportunity they get.
That's great. That's great.
Every day.
I hope I hope you do, because if I don't win, then I deserve to be picked on about it. That's totally fine. But when I win,
you're so full of shit.
I demand acknowledgement on this show. I demand.
Hey, Kevin, if you're so confident,
one time, and that will be the end of it.
Hold on, Kevin, if you're so sure you can win, you start at the back of the pack.
Yeah, Kev.
Actually,
agree to it, Kevin. You're so great.
Well, hold on.
Agree to it.
We don't have any say where we line up.
Oh, yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do. Don't lie to the listeners.
No, hold on. Listen. It's where the cars are at in the back and how we take the field. So that
it's how we take the field. Take the field last.
No, but it's where the cars are at because you have to get
Kevin,
cars out.
We all know. No, you can sit right at the entrance and just pull in last.
Later and wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we need to start doing like locals, like exclusive content that people have to pay like $5 a month to view.
Yeah, I think we should.
We should do that. We'll talk about that. Hey, let us know in the chat if you guys would support that. Just $5 a month to watch some exclusive content. And on that content, Beeler can use a C word as many times as she'd like. Beeler, on the couch, do you have any parting shots?
Yeah, I actually want to give a shout out to B&B Lavender Farm up in Sequim. I drove up there today.
Oh, they're awesome.
I went up there today to get some distilled lavender because I use it when I'm cleaning.
What do you use? How do you use it? Do you mix it into cleaning supplies to get it out,
or is it spray it?
It's like a spray.
Yeah,
like almost like a Febreze, but it's real instead of Febreze kind of thing.
It's a cleaner. It's distilled lavender. It has microbial properties to it.
Lavender's the bomb, man.
Like 409 or whatever. Usually as a cleaner.
Absolutely. Right. And it leaves us like just nice fresh scent of lavender, but not like that overwhelming lavender. It's just this like really
I love the smell
amazing
of lavender.
smell.
Robert suggested you open an OnlyFans account. Okay. I love the smell of lavender. I really do. Lavender is perfect smell. Yeah.
I put lavender in my gin.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's all I had. It was a good drive up there. And got my lavender and came back.
Outstanding. All right. Beeler, I love you. Thanks for staying later tonight. Thanks for not bailing on us on it early. Thanks for just being you. See you next Tuesday. Tom, do you have any? Damn. Well, Lilat, Lilat said it's the Epstein class. I don't disagree with that. You're fine. You're right. I think it's bigger than Epstein. I think it's like cabalish.
Okay, Tom, parting shots.
Parting shots, my friend.
Yeah. August 22nd, there's going to be a they call it a Marifest. It's something that the Gary Parker campaign's putting on. It'll 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock out at the Tacoma Narrows Airport. There's gonna be food trucks and live music and just stuff. It's supposed to be a family oriented, family driven event. Go check it out.
Outstanding. So, all right.
I'll be out there for probably most of the day.
That'd be good fun, man.
Yeah.
Since you're off tomorrow, I'm hoping to see some mock-up drawings. I'm just kidding. Paul, do you have any parting shots, my friend?
If I'm sober that long.
No, you take a day off. I don't even want to see you. I don't want to hear from you. I want you to have fun with your wife, and
I need a day off.
Not that kind of fun. Well, you can have that kind of fun if you want, but have fun with your wife and enjoy your day off.
Yeah. Oh, I need a day off.
Speaking of people disappointing their partners, hello, Paul. Do you have any parting shots?
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
You're a special kind of dick. Just saying. Special kind of
That
dick.
was a face, Kevin. Wow.
Go ahead, Paul. Parting shots. Come on, man.
Yeah, that was my parting shot. You're a special kind of dick.
Well, that's all you've got?
Yep, that's all I've got.
All right.
You're daddy dick.
All right.
Just to remind the listeners, always refer to Kevin as daddy.
I want to give you the finger so bad. All right. My parting shots then is, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put the Mariners to bed. This team is not going to the playoffs. This team is dead in the water. The season is over. They got swept by the Rays this weekend. They literally, their offense, Paul would score more runs than the Mariners offense has. They're absolutely abysmal. I'm glad that football season is around the corner so we can go back to rooting for a competent franchise that will do what it takes to win, make the right moves, and make a commitment. The Mariners are not that team. I was optimistic. I was hopeful. Beeler Parker says, come on now, button up all those pants. It's time to go home.
What the fuck? How are my pants not buttoned?
I'm just reading you what.
Shut up!
I'm just reading you what he's saying in the chat. But the Mariners are done. And I'm frankly really disappointed because I stupidly got my hopes up this year for that stupid team. It'll be 22 years before I get my hopes up for them again. Lila said, oh, here we go, Paul. You'll like this. Lila said, I was trying to make a move on Daddy last year, but now Kevin's taken. This woman is sad. Sorry, Lila.
Good night, everybody.
I didn't
so
know.
sad.
I had no idea. But, given Paul's relationship history, he'll be single a little bit.
Oh, fuck off.
Kevin.
I am madly in love with this woman sitting right over here.
Yes, but is
and
she
nothing
madly
is
in love
going
with
to
you?
come between. Yeah, well, I mean, yes, she is madly in love with me too.
Ask her
what,
so we can hear it on the microphone at least. Ask her if she's madly in love with you. No, we're just wrapping up. Go ahead, ask her.
You know what? I think Beeler's a little upset by your question.
Ask
You're
her.
madly in love with me, yes? Well, she shook her head yes. She didn't say it out loud, but
all right.
Now I got a
That'll
thumbs
wrap
up.
the show. Beeler, we hate to see you go, but we love to watch you leave. It's Outlaw Radio. We'll see you guys Sunday night. Frank Aquila will join us from Beeler's giving me the finger from behind. Not the first time she's done that to a guy.
Oh my God.
All right. Oh, yeah. Terry's parting shot. Chick-fil-A opens Tuesday. If you get in line now, you might get through it on Thursday. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Frank Aquila and more of the show and more shenanigans from the 23rd because this is not anywhere near over.
Oh, please let it be over.
Outlaw Radio, guys, we love you. We'll see you on next Sunday night. A presentation of Black Ring Spirits, Destination Highway 420, Evergreen Grace Cleaning, Admin All Apart, Kitsap Paintball Park. Paul, what's the name of the other business you're involved with? What's it called? Northwest something?
Pacific Northwest Funding. We do private lending for real estate investors. We will fund 100%.
Kitsap's Great Escapes and Beeler's OnlyFans account. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next Sunday. Outlaw Radio Network.
Good night.
Smoke and shine, perfect.